You think you do, but you don't. Remember when you had to like spam cities and say, need a tank, need a tank, need a tank during the Burning Crusade days? You don't remember that because now you just push a button that says go to the dungeon. You don't want to do that. Remember that one bug that really pissed you off that we fixed like 2 years ago? Still there in the past. Still there in the past.
But I understand that for some of you, your favorite flavor is vanilla.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't. Remember when you had to like spam cities and say need a tank, need a tank, need a tank during the Burning Crusade days? You don't remember that because now you just push a button that says go to the dungeon. You don't want to do that.
Now, before I get to the big news.
You think you
Do they have the notes listed? I don't even look at this stuff. Do they have?
There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Reporting live from Blackrock Spire. My name is Kargoz. The date is February 12th, 2020. You'll love to see it. It's another beautiful day in Azeroth. I'm joined today by my good friends and colleagues, upstanding members of the Classicwow community. You may recognize them. You probably do. Some large brains in the building. Taladrill, Lestor, Dokken. First of all, hopefully you can hear me. How you guys doing?
What's good, man? How are you? Excited to be here. Excited for
Doing
BWL,
great.
huh?
Yeah, man. The hype
BWL.
has been taking over all day.
The hype has been taken over all day. Taladrill, how are you
Yeah.
feeling, man? You doing calculations right now?
No, just excited to see who wins this. You know, there's been a lot of push for the MC, so it's going to be interesting to see how strong the competition is for World First here.
Absolutely. Also, ladies and gentlemen tuning in right now, there already is normally a high chance of scuffage with a Kargoz stream. This one, the odds of us making it through the stream with no scuffage is, I mean, it's like having Edgemaster's handguards drop for you from an average, Devilsaur, or, Raptor and Ungoro. This is a very impromptu coverage of the race to World First, so apologies in advance, just giving you guys forewarning. Hopefully you can bear with us when things inevitably do happen. But yes, I am excited to be here with you guys today. Will you guys be raiding Blackwing Lair today?
Later
I
tonight,
will.
yes.
I
Yes.
am, yeah. Later
Not
tonight,
competitively, though.
my bags are.
Yeah,
full
our
of
raid's gonna be tomorrow. We got old people that have jobs and children and stuff like that in their guild, so we gotta stick to our normal schedule.
Right on, man. Nothing wrong with that. What servers do you guys play on, and what guilds? Let's do some shout-outs, guys, in the chat. Let's get some hype in the chat. Let's get some likes on the stream. Let's shout out our server. Let's shout out our guild. Let's slay this fucking dragon today, right?
Team Blackout and Scarum Boys, we're gonna go ahead and send it.
Send it.
Maelstrom from Herod. You'll see me
And,
around next to the Ironforge Bridge all day enchanting.
And I'm in AFK on Atiyesh.
The guild's called AFK?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's a big
Our first rag kill, we all went AFK, so all you see is just a bunch of AFKs on the screenshot. It's hilarious.
That's funny, man.
I love it.
Grob Mob in the house. Scarum in the house. Bigglesworth in the house. Bloodfang's in the house. Come on, guys. This is weak. This is weak. I want a sea of engagement in the chat. It's going to be an interesting day, man. It's going to be an interesting day. Where do we even start, man? I guess the programming today, guys, is what we're going to do is we're going to be tabbing back and forth between different points of view. We're going to be going through some people in Apes, some people in Progress, people in Onslaught, people in maybe Blackout if they're available. Whoever you guys want to see, we're going to be bringing up their stream perspective and just talking over it and trying to cover the action. So, do you guys have any predictions on who's going to take the W? That's a question for chat too as well.
I mean, I know
That's where my money's going.
your money's on Apes.
Yeah.
They did get Molten Core, right?
They almost
Yeah.
in 4. That was more of a leveling.
That was a leveling race, so that's not a rating
I mean, they
race.
still did it quick.
I don't know.
I-
I'd be watching Progress or
Hey,
Onslaught
that's-
personally.
I been playing on all private servers. Progress won pretty much almost every race to first out there, so that's my money right there as well. It's definitely on Progress.
I'm pulling up right now on the stream. This is the world record speed run. I think I've been trying to scour the YouTubes for the fastest speed run for BWL. Again, take it with a grain of salt. This is private servers, right? But I believe the speed run is 20 minutes and 23 seconds. Blackwing Lair by Vanguard. This is the off-tank's perspective here. And that's pretty damn fast. And people do say that Blackwing Lair, I mean, that raids and content in general in Classic WoW is easier than private servers. Now, I'm not saying that's 100% true or not. We'll talk about that as well. But for some of you guys who have done speedruns before and you guys have played in top-end guilds, can you break down, your thoughts on this speedrun? Like, what do you think is going to happen today? Are we going to beat this? Are we going to...
Not with
No.
MC gear. I mean, that was probably with like Nax level gear, you know. right off the bat. And there's definitely some question marks that we're going to have when we're hitting it. Is we know how private servers work, so they're fixing their runs to match the private servers. So there might be some spells or abilities that are slightly different that could really throw a speed run off badly. I mean, if you get run off, that could be a raid wipe, and then you're pretty much out of the game. So it's going to be very, very different, possibly. I don't think we're going to see any major surprises in that sense.
I think one of the biggest things to look out for when you're talking about like speed clears, and especially the world first here, is how the trash mechanics are going to work, how difficult the trash is, if any trash can be skipped. We were talking about that before stream a little bit. I think that's one of the number one things to look out for in the race and in future speed runs.
Yeah, I agree. I think the trash skips are going to be a huge factor in whether people are able to get their times down or how quickly they're going to be able to do it. I mean, like you said, we talked about it before, whether invisibility pots are going to work, or I also mentioned the aggro ranges of the mobs seem to be a lot larger than they were on the private servers in my experience. And we all know private servers are not classic. Classic's not vanilla.
Whoa.
But
10 tier 1 gifted subs from Twitch.
Oh man, Lopsided Karma, thank you so much for the 10 tier 1s, bro. Appreciate it. Much love to everybody out there watching right now. Sorry, Doc, continue, my bad.
No, very, very much. I think those are all going to be huge factors, and the trash mechanics as well. Because I remember there was some variance on the way some of those worked. In particular, the technician packs after the suppression room were something that were varied on the private servers as well.
I definitely agree. It's going to be the trash packs that are going to be the real unknown here. Everybody knows what the mechanics of the bosses are. They aren't going to be the surprise, but it's also going to be a little bit of luck too. If one of the guilds gets really bad nef calls, what are they going to do with that? That could be a real problem.
Or even like what combination of abilities they get on Chromagus could be.
Yeah, that was my next thought. Is
that's not as bad as Nef. I mean, because if you're trying to be careful, like Nef can really screw you over. But yeah, definitely Chromag too. Both of those are totally random.
Okay, I think we are doing it. Okay, we're on full screen mode right now, guys. Sorry, this is a work in progress, man. We scrambled to get this together, but hopefully you're able to see that. We have no cams in this mode, but we are able to go full screen with player perspectives and then jump back to the presentation. But since we're not really, BWO is not out yet, for those of you asking, what is it, in 3 hours, right, or something like, or 2 hours? 3 hours.
2 hours. Just a little over 2 hours now.
Well, you guys have to deal with our ugly mugs for a little bit, but we can go full screen. We can go full screen. So you guys mentioned trash. You've been talking about trash. Would you agree that trash is the hardest? Trash is the biggest boss here, and is going to be the main. Well, yeah. Give us your perspective on the significance of trash.
Mostly on the trash after Fire Maw is really where a lot of the eyes are going to be. I feel like for a lot of the hardcore guilds, Suppression Room isn't going to be as difficult as it will be. So when you're looking at just the World First race, I think the trash is going to come down to the packs after Fire Maw, between the Drakes and Chromag. So what most people call them the tech packs with the Goblin Technicians. I think depending on how hard the Shadow Bolts from the Warlocks hit, how hard the Dragon can hit, and specifically how tricky the Goblin techs are to deal with, I think that's where a lot of people are going to save a lot of time or lose a lot of time. Being able to cleave extra mobs down or kill the techs quickly, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 or 7 of those packs almost back to back to back. So I think a lot of the time there is a huge time save availability.
I see.
An interesting thing, it won't work for the text, but the funny part, just to mention the suppression room, we keep joking about the Ravager meta for the suppression room, like that you're gonna steal these guys wearing those things still.
Ravagers?
Yeah, I just like beaming around about it. But something I go jokes
absolutely.
about like that. Everybody used those things so much, like just they're all gonna throw them on, and it's gonna be ridiculous, I'm sure. But that's just a side note about it.
There was actually in Suppression Room another, kind of falling under the trash conversation. There was a really, really large trash skip you could do on a couple of the private servers. By, if you didn't know about this, you could send an invisible succubus all the way to essentially Broodlord's area, then uninvisibility, take off invisibility from her, all the trash would aggro to the Warlock, but not the rest of the raid, and then the Warlock would kind of run away and the raid would pass. It'd be interesting to see if that skip works, because I think if somebody is ballsy enough to try it and it does work, that's 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Game changer right there.
Or if it doesn't work, it's pretty much an instant wipe because the entire raid is aggroed onto you, the entire suppression room.
So that is an expression I use a lot here over at Kargoz Gaming, risking it for the biscuit. And, some people here that are going for world first, to a certain extent, you have to risk it for the biscuit here, right? Like, you have to be
absolutely
very aggressive. Like, you either, are glory. You either bathe in glorious victory and you speedrun the thing, or you are met with catastrophe, right? It really is one or the other, I would imagine. Now, are we going to see one of these guilds go too ham, go too zug, and wipe one of these big brain guilds? If they're really trying to push the envelope, is that possible, or what do you think?
I think it's entirely possible. I mean, it just depends. I mean, there's factors, there's unknowns. You know what I mean? We don't know exactly how everything's going to function. But the question is are all the world buffs and all the flasks and everything else just going to allow them to overcome that without really thinking that much? It's something that crossed my mind as our approach to the raid is out of the gate. Like, we don't know. You got to remember the mind exhaustion. Is that something that's still going to happen, or whatever they call mental exhaustion, or something on the orb controller? You're going to end up with multiple people having orb control. You're going to be able to do it with a single. You need double. Then I'm already asking our guys, like, are the Dragonkin on Razorgore going to be, chunking people the way they did on private servers? Some guilds may struggle if they're trying to tank and kill all that stuff, and they're getting chunked, versus is it going to be, this is like they hit hard, but not really a big deal. That may be more of like an average player, average guild, like, something for them to consider. I think a lot of the consumes and stuff are going to just kind of null and void those points for the world first race.
I see.
Sorry, I kind of went on a side tangent there, but just something.
It's amazing. I mean, these guys, by the way, are way bigger brain than me guys. I mean, you guys probably know them already, but if you live under a rock and if you don't know them by now, let's do a round of intros, guys. Well, I'll show you guys before you do intros. Dokken, GM of Blackout. I'll leave it at that. Lestor, one of the youngest dudes in the community, but very, very experienced. Cleared all content a bazillion times. Taladrill, leader of the Druid, leader of the Emerald Circle, Druid Discord, Big Brain Druid. Not playing Druid though. I don't know if you announced that. Maybe I shouldn't blow you up, but
it's all good.
Yeah, you guys, give the stream a little bit of info about your gaming resume.
Oh. Absolutely. I played WoW since pre-BWL on the retail version. Though I stopped playing, I think Wrath or so. But always been in MMOs, that kind of good stuff. I'm GM for Team Blackout, like you shouted out for us, playing on Scarum. I also do Dokken_TV on Twitch and YouTube. I got videos and streams a couple of times a week, guys.
Hell yeah. Lestor.
Taladrill. Oh, here, I'll go next. Yeah. Like you said, I played most of my pretty serious WoW career on private servers. Cleared all the content, tons and tons of time.
On which servers? Private servers.
Sorry, I think my mic cut out there for a little bit.
Oh, it's all good.
So yeah, I played mostly on just private server stuff. And then I got really involved in the Paladin community and helped Kargoz with a couple of the Paladin guides, and that's where I spend most of my time now. And now we just raid on Herod, and I love playing literally everything about Paladins. If you've seen the Paladin content that we've made, love Ret, love Prot, love Holy, all that. That's my dream.
You pretty much you were playing on was it Lightbringer? You had Ragnaros, didn't you? And you also had Fury.
And I had Thunder Fury on the Paladin, yeah.
And Thunder Fury on the Paladin. Basically, dude had everything.
Yeah, it was full bis for almost all pretty much full bis for all the specs.
And you've led, probably hundreds of raids at this point. Same with you, Dokken. Same with you, Taladrill. I mean, we got some real wealth of knowledge here, though. So if you guys have any questions in the chat about BWL or really about anything Classic WoW related, I'm sure these guys will be able to hook you up big time. Taladrill, my man, hit us with that CV, the curriculum vitae.
Well, been doing Druid for forever, and I don't know, just we got to explore a lot with BWL, especially with how Feral's fared in that. I'm excited to see how much damage Broodlord does for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see where we're all at here.
He left out all the juicy bear druid details. I gotta show for him.
Bear stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
One of the early adopters. I mean, people were probably doing it before you though, huh, Taladrill? But I mean, you know, I remember watching you on your first episode on Countdown to Classic. That was how I first heard about you. And he was talking about how he tanked pretty much all the content as a bear druid, and he was going on and on about bear druids and how they can pretty much be serviceable in lots of raid encounters. And I remember just listening to that and being like, wow, that's so cool that that bear druids are getting some hype. Now here we are in Classic right now. Do you think bear druids even have a bad rap anymore? It seems like people are pretty woke to the bear druids.
Oh, some people are still negative about them, but no, they just seem like they've got a really good following, and every raid is pretty accepting for them now, so that's really nice to see. Definitely completely different than what that meta was about 4 or 5 years ago, so it is really good to see that changed.
So you tanked all the bosses and Nax as a bear druid, except for the spider, right? Makes them?
Not everybody else. I definitely didn't do the spider or Lotheb, and Saffron for sure. I'd have to think about the others, but pretty much all the others, at least once.
And now he's playing a filthy paladin.
Welcome to the club, baby.
It's disgusting, all these paladins, man. I didn't know I was getting roped into today, man.
Welcome to the club.
I play paladin too now, Dawkins. I have a 60 paladin.
I know, Kargoz has a 60.
Oh my god,
this is a paladin stream right here, man. Tell us about
paladin. I got everybody hooked. Man.
You don't like paladin? Or you like Melderon's coming around to paladin. Melderon's playing paladin now too.
I mean, come on, it's horde side, man. I mean, we don't got no stinking paladins. We just stick with our shaman, and we do things like that, okay? We do shaman things. We don't do paladin things. There we go. See, chat's agreeing with me. The filthy paladins. There we go.
There he is, Def Camper Melderon TV in the chat. What's up, man?
What's up, boys?
Good to see you guys in here. Who's that? Def Camper Melderon, or both of you? As eating a cheesesteak. Anyway, guys, let's talk about clearly big brains here. It's really great to have these guys here, and I'll be plugging their channels. Feel free to plug your own channels too in the chat as we go. But let's get into some of the players here. So when I say players, I mean guilds, right? So now we're gonna hit this handy dandy
absolutely
button on it's gonna hopefully take us to the correct screen. At Warcraft logs. That's what we're looking for. Not Classic DB, my bad. There we go. So we're here. Warcraft logs. We're on the classic version. Good. I'm looking at Molten Core right now. Hopefully you can see this okay on the stream, guys. We're looking at Molten Core, progress, speed, and execution. Out of these 3 factors, break this down for the people, guys. How interesting is seeing, the rankings on progress versus seeing the rankings on speed versus the rankings on execution?
So I'll start off by saying execution isn't like as important as the others. Although like a good guild still is going to have good execution. Like I'd say out of those 3, execution is the one that can be like cheesed the most. So I would kind of not worry about that one as much. But definitely what we're looking for here for the race that I'm going to be paying attention to is mostly the speed and just the percent parses for a lot of the melee and tanks in the guild. I think those are the main things to look out for whenever I'm trying to coursing through logs.
Say it again. You said execution is easily cheesed. Could you go into detail about that?
Yeah, so execution is ranked by, first you're ranked by how many deaths you had in the raid, and then secondly you're ranked by how much damage you took. So anybody who didn't have any deaths in their raid is going to have automatically higher execution than even if somebody had 1 death, you can see.
Okay. So right now...
it's still important, obviously a good run, you're not going to have a lot of deaths. So, it's still very important. Like you can see progress is still down there. Primal is up there. Risen, a lot of really top tier guilds, but, like a guild with an hour and 11 minutes is number 2. Like,
An hour 11 minutes.
they didn't have any deaths.
Vampire
It's still a good
Clan, number
indication
1
of
though.
performance.
Fairlina,
Yeah, but I wouldn't
take
take.
guild right here. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I just wouldn't take like. I wouldn't take execution as seriously as I would like the speed category.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. For those same exact reasons. I mean, you can slow down what you're doing and just, either, I'm not like saying this is necessarily what they've done, but there's ways around it, depending on your composition, things like that, just taking your time a little bit more, getting those metrics that are lined up with, the way you're actually executing the fight versus, as you said, trying to get your speed and then still have decent execution. That's where you're going to see who's going to take your world first. Is they're doing it right or right enough and quickly.
So it's like speed is the important factor to look for, and then still having good execution is very important, but not quite as important.
And then progress. Progress relates to the first, the fastest people are able to kill that raid, like for the server, right? So when we see progress over here, for example, I'll go back to it. This is like what on fresh when this content was fresh for like 1 millisecond. This is how it all played. This is how it all panned out, pretty much, right?
Yeah, that's when it was kill order was logged. So
that's what we're dealing with today. We're about to see permanently how this progress shapes out. Because once the progress is done, it's done, right? This is like set in stone. So right now, what we're looking right now for overall Molten Core, Apes is number 1. So that means that Apes cleared Molten Core first on September 10th, followed by Progress, followed by Onslaught, followed by Grizzly, followed by Tribe, Rise, Storm, Cozy, Primal, and Return. So these are the people that did it in the last content tier. Are these the same people we're going to see? How do you think it's going to be any different, or maybe we don't have too much color on these guilds? What do you guys think?
Well, the top 3 are still
contenders.
applicable. I mean, those guys are still. I don't know about the other ones, but I think the speedrun side is going to be much more of where we'd be looking at who's going to be the real players. Because this is, as I said earlier, this was a leveling race, which is entirely different from speed running.
So pretty much, if you are really good at leveling as a guild, right? But let's say you're a big brain PvE theory crafter, you may not be the best at leveling. So the people that are the best at leveling could outperform you and get world first way faster than you, even if they may or may not be better raiders, just better levelers, right? And you're saying that may not be the case.
This is only for Molten Core, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And I hear this a lot. I hear this thrown around that Apes are really good at leveling, but maybe not so much super into raiding. I know, is that a hot take, or you also got
pull up the speed. Let's see where they're at with on the speed list.
On the speed list. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Man, where's Invictus at?
It's funny. It's funny when we were talking about it beforehand, and that was I was like, oh, they'll probably take it again for this when we were talking ahead of time as far as who's going to get the first BWL, and then you guys are like, well, they out-leveled them versus like who's going to get in there first, and then actually like everybody's at the starting line, same time, go, kind of thing, and I'm like, there's a lot of valid points there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is gonna play out a lot differently because, as you can see, a lot of already it's up right now. Also, shout out Storm, they're on Herod, and a little bit if you scroll down, there's Tempest right there. Those are both Herod guilds. Herod, number 1.
Is yours on here, Lester?
No. We have like a 40-something minute run. We're not, but okay. I'm just calling out Herod there.
So we looked at progress. Progress is, okay, the content is fresh, and then it's fresh for like a millisecond, and it's just a mad zerg to who can clear it the fastest. Then it's set in stone. It's a static kind of thing. It doesn't move anymore. What does move anymore, though, is the execution and speed. And what we're looking at right here is speed, and you guys are making it seem like this is the most important one to take a look at, because this is what guilds can continuously improve upon with each passing week, right? And raid groups.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. So what we're looking at right here, are these the best guilds in the game from your perspective right now? Are the best, yeah.
I mean, so, yes.
I see Progress, Dream State, Salad Bakers, Onslaught. Like in my head, those are instantly, 4. Even from private servers, those are some of the top guilds that I immediately think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly. You see all those, and it's one thing too. It's like something that I remember thinking when they got the MC World first was like, it's so nice to see that the people who were behind I said maybe behind or in front of the spear point of the private server community that helped make this push for getting Classic to happen, to see that private server players were the ones that kind of got that, like, hey, we did this, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, to still see so many of the guilds that have stuck together from the private servers to come over to, Classic, being those top guilds, it feels good just knowing that, like, I was part of the communities that were on those servers as well, and still seeing those names and people around.
Okay.
I think there's something just really nice about that.
Private server voice hanging in there. Yeah.
Not to throw shade at Apes, but if we're looking at the list, they're at 34th in this list, so they did a great run, under 30-minute run, but it's definitely not pushing it as hard as these other top ones, that are looking at 5 minutes less.
Sub 25 guilds are all. I mean, that's just on another level of MC. If you've tried to do a speedrun, that's just absolutely blazing fast.
So can you break this down too? So Vampire Clan was #1 out of every guild in the world in execution, and now they're down here at 29 in terms of speed. So how do you have super high execution again and low speed?
So if you looked at the execution, it was actually a different run. You can tell by the timer. That's their official speedrun timer, which is 29 and change. Their execution #1 raid, that's only because they had a different raid where they had no deaths.
Okay.
So it takes into account like your best individual raid.
I mean, just imagine going through each raid and making sure that before every single pull, everybody's at full mana and full health, and being able to just hit something
like
really
full,
hard. Like, you could be 5 minutes slower, and it's going to be a lot easier. But you can be a lot cleaner when you do it too, because you're not pushing the envelope with every single metric.
I see. So it's still kind of impressive in a way, though.
It is impressive for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, doing MC without a single person dying is
very
not an easy task.
No, that's not easy. Like just the trash bags.
Do guilds do execution runs? Is it in addition to speed runs, or have you really not? That's
not really. Not as much. There might be some out there, but I can't really imagine that anyone would want to spend all their time doing that.
My old guild on Noth did. We didn't care about speedruns so much. We cared about just getting through stuff cleanly. So it wasn't like, let's try and do everything to save 5 minutes. So it was a lot more like we incentivized less deaths. So we actually had sort of like a rolling bet/guild payout system where it's like, okay, let's try and do it with under 6 deaths kind of thing. And if we did, then we got some extra gold by doing that.
Okay.
I think a couple things that are good to bring up outside of just like looking at the straight numbers. It's good to look at the date at which the run was. Like Gussie, Aegis, those guys, those runs have been up there.
Look at the raid composition, dude. Look at
Yep.
That's a lot of brown boys. That's a lot of brown.
Click on it. Oh wow, that's actually even worse than usual.
Shout out to my boy Ale though. Oh,
I tuned in one of the onslaught runs and was just kind of like seeing how it was set up, and it literally was just like a full 6 groups of warriors and rogues and Shaman, and you're just like, okay.
that's worse than usual, but that is going to be the comp, and that actually kind of leads into the point that I was going to make is a lot of these guilds did some of these runs a long time ago, and since then, gear's been updated, and even more specifically, there's been really, really big improvements in melee weaponry. As we all know, the rank 14, first batch of rank 14s went out, so, most of the top guilds on their each respective server are probably going to have 5, 6 plus guys who are now rank 14s who were in that bracket 1. And just including, not even just for the rank 14 weapons, the gear increase on there's multiple pieces from rogues, there's multiple pieces from tanks, and there's tons of pieces for warriors for tanking and DPS that are an upgrade from the purple and even the blue sets. So that's something really to take into consideration. Like I know Progress, they had 3 or 4 guys in their bracket 1. I know Apes had 6 guys in their bracket 1, just to name the big guys. But I'm sure a lot of the top competitive world guilds are going to be in that same boat.
So that's going to give them a big advantage if you have a whole group of people that were ranking pretty aggressively.
Absolutely.
BWL. Yeah.
You know, what comps are they going to be using for today? Like, they're not going to be stacking 6 groups of warriors and rogues, I wouldn't think.
No,
You know what I mean?
absolutely not.
So you're going to have different comps than what you're seeing here, even for the MC speedrun list, when we're just looking at how they've acquired those times. So that's also going to be a factor. I mean, I don't think it's going to be substantially different among the raid teams, because everybody's going to be using a different. They're not going to have a full like speed comp.
Abe said
stacking
10
warriors.
rank 14s.
Yeah. So they're essentially their servers. I mean, most of the really, really big bracket ones were 9 to 12. So they essentially had the entire bracket one. I believe that without a doubt. Yeah.
Dude, so even if they're not the best level, I mean, even if they're, people were saying they got world first for MC because they're really good levelers. Now they have 10 rank 14s, though. Maybe that could give them an advantage, man.
And it's true, but I don't know. I think I'd still be interested to see a lot of the other guilds that you've just seen popping up, like a lot of the other guilds on the leaderboards that are more just like classic Origin guilds and not private server guilds. But going into new content, I've always got my money on a private server guild just from muscle memory experience.
Peace, server boys. Yo, shout out to Time Cop. Good to see him in here, yo, from the private server. Speaking of that, look at this one token warlock in here for the freaking Curse of Recklessness.
For Curse of Wreck.
Curse of Wreck bot, dude. Where all
And
the
the one-
Chad melees. Just, God.
The one druid.
dude.
Also, that druid is feral. He's like half feral, half
Earthlings.
Presto, so
I
that
level with this guy,
he's
man. Him
very
and Zaryu. Grinding SM with this dude. Shout out to the guy. Earthlings.
Oh, is he's Heart of the Wild spec?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're in a raid like that and you're the only druid, you get feral fairy fire.
So melee's pretty shit.
I mean, those aren't even some of the best melee logs out there. Like, there's really, if you're just talking about pure parsing, because parsing and speed clears are very different. So
Do
we're gonna
elaborate
be
on
looking.
that.
What's that?
Elaborate that on parsing and speed clears are very different.
So parsing is just going for max DPS, full world buffs, full cooldowns, every boss, like just focused on clearing as much as possible, as hard as possible. Instead of going for like an overall start to finish fast, you go for kind of like a good setup on each boss, and you're blowing every cooldown, every boss. So there's a clear outlier, and he's actually on Herod as well. His name is Alondo. He's the guy, he's been showing up on YouTube now. He's got a 3k DPS Luciferon, for example. But if you go on any speed clear parse, or speed clear run, you're not gonna see anything like that. You're gonna see a more fine-tuned run for just overall speed instead of just boss DPS.
I see, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me go back to that log thing. So anyway, I want to get some I want to get a straw poll going. You know how to do with the straw poll. Let's go back to it. Wait for it to pop up. So number one, the fastest guild right now is Dream State. 22 minutes 21 seconds. Progress, Salad Onslaught, Calamity Storm. I want to make a top 10 list, that like a straw poll that people can vote on the top picks. So if you had to choose the 10 top guilds in your own mind, I know it's tough to know, the current state of all the guilds. Who would be on this top 10 list of contenders?
For today, you're talking about?
For today, yeah. Who has the best shot?
It's hard to know for some of these, like the Chinese guilds, if they're even competing for world first too.
I mean, yeah, even
They
like
probably would. But
what's
did
the one
you guys see the
CN United? Yeah, that's them.
Did you see the post on Classic WoW Reddit that was saying that I guess it's impossible to play on China right now? They've got crazy queue times, so if that's the case, then it's going to be really hard for them to even get their 40 people in there, much less.
Oh, that feels bad
anything
for them.
else.
Yeah,
no
that's
kidding.
a shame actually.
Asia always takes an L with regard to World First, even on the retail side of things. They've been fighting on the retail side of things to have all the raids released at the same time zone wise, because how it works right now is apparently the different regions get it at different times, and Asia always gets it last. So it's like NA first, then EU, then Asia. So they're still taking an L in Classic, man, and the old content's crazy. Okay. So
I would say definitely the top 4 you see up there,
Yeah,
without a
definitely the
doubt.
top 4.
Dream State.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be
Is that a private server
considerations.
guild?
That's a private.
Yes.
That's actually
Oh,
a vanilla guild. Surprisingly, they've been
Vanilla
clearing
guild.
content.
Wow.
They've been
I
around
actually ran
vanilla.
in a pug with them on the private server with my alt
I'm almost
warrior.
positive.
They gave me the eye or the eye.
The guild I
I
always
know
hear about with private
they might have
servers.
not been around since vanilla, but I know they've been around for 5+ years at least.
Well, I know that they were on original Nost for sure.
Let's
So
take
I
a
don't
look
know
at
if they
their,
were on private
Yeah.
servers before that, if they
Shout
were
out to
like
Laddie.
Emerald Dream or something. But
So what we're
Look at
looking
those
at right
guys.
here, this is the number
Bracken
one.
Mars.
This is the number one speed clear, like raid composition and stats, right?
Yeah, this is what most people are going to be running for their.
yeah, it's going to be very warrior.
This is
rogue
Dream
heavy.
State's legendary 22 run right
Mhm.
here. Looks like there's a little bit more diversity though. There's a mage. There's one warlock still. A little bit more yellow.
They're gonna now. They might need. I don't know. Are you gonna need 2 hunters? I'm not sure. I think you do need 2 hunters for
You will.
Chromac.
They most raids will run 2 hunters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be a little bit different.
Hmm.
No, I
In
would
range.
expect. I would expect a little bit more diverse comp than just
Yeah.
the super heavy melee.
Yeah, because you're gonna need a little bit of CC and I think what else? Yeah, and AOE stuff too. So they're probably gonna need
see-
a little bit more
y-
mages and locks.
You'll likely see some of the early, depending on how bold you want to go on the post veil trash. You'll see 2 druids in a lot of the raids as well
true,
for
yeah.
hibernates.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were looking at that. Those
I personally
there's a
wouldn't do it
chance
without
for 1 or 2 of those dragons for the druids. And so,
Oh, really? It's chance. It's by chance.
Yeah, yeah. It's not always 2.
I
So
believe that's interesting.
at least
See, that
that's
I
what
didn't know- I didn't realize
that's what
either.
retail BWL had. So we're presuming our guild's presuming that that's the case. So it's hard to know
Mhm.
exactly, but yeah.
So let's
But-
maybe do a top 5 list. Maybe top 10's a little excessive. So I mean,
Yeah,
are we
top
just
10's
are we
a lot.
copy pasting this top Dream State Progress, Salad Bakers, Onslaught,
Personally,
Calamity? No
I
apes
would
though. Feels
say-
bad. No apes.
I actually would say those 4, and then
a wild
Rain
card.
has a decent chance, but
Yeah,
Rain
maybe.
might get screwed over just because of the fact that they play on Faralina. I think that's gonna, like, some of those servers, it's gonna be easier to get into the mountain than others.
Well,
and,
yeah,
like,
that's actually
organize
going to be the real trick, that we haven't talked about yet.
Anybody
is
gonna
that,
run defense on it?
how are you going to get into BWL? Because you've got 2 options. You've got click on the orb, and you've got go through Ubers.
Yeah.
Both are their own challenges. Because Ubers, I don't know. Can you how this is going to hit? Like, are the servers going to reset, or are they just going to magically make it
No,
available?
it's gonna be a live drop, as far as I've heard, like Dire Maul was.
So you can be in Ubers at the gate, ready
Yes.
to go, and zone in. I mean, do you think that could you do that? Because then that would
Well,
be
you
really
could,
quick.
if you, the super safe strategy in quotes is clear 4 different Ubers at the
Right.
same time, and
Right,
then have
and then-
everyone drop group
and then
zone in.
have just run in there and then just do mass invites.
But then you run into the problem of the ticking of your world buffs, which is something we haven't even discussed, which is probably
yeah,
another huge topic.
especially with the Songflower, because that's only 1 hour, so that's a lot smaller of a window to be able to get that in.
I think I think it'll just have to line up, like the one of the number 1 guilds who clears first is going to be one of the guilds whose faction controls the mountain, and so that they could just run in.
That's a real risk,
Yes.
though. That's
Yeah.
a real risk. So I don't know, like, for these guilds, I know for the Scarum that it's horde heavy, so Onslaught probably wouldn't have as much of an issue, but what about the others? Are they like Gehennas? Is that there? Well, you've got Dream State. and-
Salad Bakers, Gehennas, I believe they'll probably have control of the Mountain Alliance, and Fire Maw, Progress kind of runs that server, so they'll have people there.
It'll
I
be
think-
interesting to see. That's going to be a major factor.
Yo, Veil
because-
just gets fucked up, dude. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Goes
Yo,
down quick.
Veil gets fucking global, man. Poor Veil. F's in the chat for Veil. This is
Yeah, all the all the top guilds, will do what we call
One
the Veil tank skip, which is where the first tank does not get the burning adrenaline.
Right.
So you have to kill the boss. I think it's
30
like
seconds,
everyone has to
45
average like 800 DPS or something like that.
Look
Yeah.
at this, man. I just rewinded. I think it'd be kind of
It's
cool to go
impressive.
through this speed run together and kind of just watch it and like comment on it. It's kind of, I think that'd be useful. People can get a look at what the bosses actually look like. And
Yeah.
stuff.
that's
Again, we're
true.
watching Vanguard, so
Absolutely.
maybe we'll rewind it back to the start and actually watch it. I'm gonna drop a straw poll in the chat, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. For everyone tuning in now, just now we had a little bit of an influx. We are doing live coverage of the Blackwing Lair race to world first, and Blackwing Lair does come out in an hour and a half, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just about an hour and a half now.
Hour and a half. Okay, so we're creating the poll. The question is, World First BWL, here's some of the top picks. Dream State, Progress, Salad Bakers, Reign, Apes, and Onslaught. I don't think anybody is going to think you're smoking something strong if you would have your pick on one of these guilds. So I'm going to drop the straw poll in the chat. Guys, let's see it. Show some love to your favorite guilds out there.
And this isn't the end all be all. There are absolutely other guilds who have good
Oh,
shots.
Yeah,
It's
and there's
open to
there's so many
anybody,
variables,
honestly.
too. Like you're discussing the mountain and who's going to control it. And if one of these guilds runs into trouble or something bad happens, or there's another group out there that's like, oh man, well F those guys, and they purposely try to do something to kill off half the raid, and they lose buffs, or any number of things could be a factor.
I do want to point out Salad Bakers is very, very low on the poll. For those who don't know, Salad Bakers is a private server guild. They own the #1 and #2 all-time Naxxramas full speed clear records. They cleared all 15 bosses in Nax in an hour and 6 minutes.
Also, Skarm was their main tank, right, for a little bit. Shout out if you like Skarm.
He was
Salad
he was
Bakers
yeah
for a
he
while,
was
man.
one of their main tanks. He played with them on privates, but I will say their main tank was a guy named Myosin, who I think is probably the best warrior to ever touch a keyboard. So
Yeah.
they are not shy. They are not shy. Their mage core is very good too. I don't think they're out of the race at all, even though they're much lower on the poll.
So
Yeah, the thing is like, this is honestly anybody's game. If somebody loses even 5 minutes getting into BWL to get it organized, that could be the difference between winning and losing. I mean, it's just really hard to say. Maybe a server even goes down randomly. Like, it's
Oh, that would be the worst. If you're ready, and then like,
yeah, I mean, like,
Oh,
who's
man.
gonna say this is gonna just roll out real silky smooth? Like, the MC one had a whole week for everybody to be doing their leveling and everything else. That there was not going to be an issue with that kind of thing. But this, like, soft patch release potentially could just melt this whole thing down.
Yo,
it's
there's some
interesting.
love
Look at
for
it,
your
like a lot of
boy,
people are.
Razorisk in the chat, dude. Shaman, he just mentioned it.
Oh,
Razorisk is the big
hey,
warlock from
Razorisk.
Salad Bakers. Dude,
Razorisk,
shout out to
yeah.
Razorisk. You know him too,
Razorisk
Lestor?
is-
No. Razorisk was in for a while. He was in Scuba Cops, aka Scuba Dads.
You mean Taladrill was also in there too, right? Weren't you?
No, it was
And
pre-Scuba Cops. He was in Blacklisted with me in on
that's-
Areas.
they were on Herod. Scuba Cops were on Herod for a little bit, but they transferred off. Preston. It's an OG, old and private server.
Yep.
Dude, Scuba Cops are
But
hilarious.
did you want to? Did you kind of want to go through this?
I do. I want to, first though, I want to see how this poll shapes out, and then also I want to get your guys' top picks on this. So if you had to gun to your head for some unknown reason, I know it's not everyone's super into the PvE, but if you had to be a betting man, save your family from a burning house fire, who would you bet on to take it?
Who
I'll
wants to
throw
say
it out.
this?
I'm gonna say Progress.
All right, I got
don't
to
think it's
agree
gonna
with
be
him.
Apes. I don't think it's gonna be Apes. I think
I'm
there's
definitely going with Progress as well.
I still got this toss up. Like I said, apes initially, and a lot of people in the straw poll seem to think that. But after the discussion, I mean, that makes my opinion falter a little bit. And I would. It's tough. That's tough. I mean,
You can say Blackout if you want. You can say.
it's gonna be TV now.
I think
I don't think it's gonna be our deal. We're not doing it till tomorrow unless some
I think
catastrophic.
You got
Alliance
this,
is gonna
dude.
I think Alliance are going to have an advantage on this one just because of Paladins versus Shamans in terms
Oh,
of
that's
You know,
true.
you got class
net
calls are
calls
less
are
nasty.
brutal.
Yeah, and you've got better dispelling capability for Chromag.
I think that's kind of something to lead into. Is before we could go over the video, is like the kind of buffs that you can have, and BWL does come at such an oddly specific time, because there are a couple capabilities for world buffs beyond usual right now.
With the Valentine's
That's
shit, right?
true. Yeah, you got Valentine's and the Omen.
Even beyond Valentine's, the Omen buff,
The
just
Omen buff.
10% base stats
So
from the Lunar Festival.
It's huge.
So man, okay, yeah. So and also, what do you get from the box of chocolates from the Valentine's? So you get all the health, right, from talking all the bosses, but you get
It's
some chocolates?
there's 4 different candies. One gives
you can
bonus
get-
healing. One gives bonus spell power. One gives 2%
Agility?
hit,
Yeah, and defense,
which
right,
is
is the other one?
Yeah, and 13 defense is the last one. But the hit one is really the main one to look out for. Like all melee are gonna have that 100% uptime.
Yeah,
Pretty
definitely.
much on every one of these guilds. That's always going to be a buff slot. And also, if you have not been accustomed to speed running, all of these Alliance top melee, they're all going to have War Chief's Blessing. If you did not know, that is available. You can get War Chief's Blessing on Alliance through a mind control. So expect all of them to have War Chief's Blessing. And then lastly, I heard they just fixed it yesterday, very late last night, but Dark Moon Fair is working again, the 10% damage buff. It always rolls 10%, and it is active again. The aura and the buff timer are now linked.
That's
so.
huge, man. 10%
Oh, man.
damage.
So we're
Golly.
talking,
Well,
you could have
that's gonna be
saved.
tricky though with all the other buffs, especially with like War Chief's Blessing. Like you don't always get 10%, so see how many.
No.
Like at
They
what point
in,
you
in
get it.
Classic, 100% 10% reroll.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Okay, wow.
So we're
That's
talking
crazy.
Dire Maul, Head, Songflower, War Chiefs, Omen, Valentine's, and Dark Moon Fair. We're going to be looking at some really ridiculous buffs, and
Yeah,
getting into
it's
the
gonna
mountain
be
with those,
strong.
I think that's going to be another one of the big factors.
Kind of
Yeah,
crazy
just
that
not
BWL comes out alongside all these other buffs. Like, is this good? Is this bad? I mean, the stuff it might just fall over then, right? 10% is no joke, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
10%.
Yeah, I think
It's
it's bad.
ridiculous.
I don't like all those world buffs, but I know I'm in the minority on that.
At least you've been consistent with it, bro. Taladrill actually was like one guy, even in the face of all the no changes people at their peak aggression, was like some changes. Like, and
Yeah.
I remember listening to that back then, Countdown to Classic. You were defending that.
A brief I don't know on those even too. It's one of those things where, and maybe this is part of the reason why you dislike them, is the fact that it's like it's so fun to see what you can do with them, but at the same time,
It
if
cheeses
you are
it.
the guy that dies in a raid and you lose them, you're like, okay, now I'm no longer competitive.
Yeah,
like
exactly,
you're literally
that
just
too.
done. Like, and it's not fun to be that guy. It just
Right.
sucks.
Let's
It's
get a
not
quick
fun to deal
straw
with that
poll in the
guy.
chat, guys. One's if you like the world buff mechanics in Classic. Two, if you don't like world buffs. Like, yeah. There's a lot to that, though, right? I mean, you could probably sit here for like 10 hours and just discuss that, honestly, because the idea that they make meme specs viable, or specs that aren't the best, if you go super try hard with the world buffs, you can kind of catch up, There's a lot to
It's a
discuss
lot of-
back and forth.
It's a lot of
We're like
mix.
50-50, yeah.
Yeah. More than I expected actually more people to be in favor of world buffs, to be
More than
honest.
I actually did too. I didn't think
But it's
it'd
a
be
lot closer
50-50.
than I
Let's
anticipated.
do an actual straw poll for it. I'm actually curious. So
That's
it's
a
just
lot.
gonna-
That's a
There
lot of
was-
ones and twos.
I know this is kind of irrelevant, but I just do want to talk about it. On private servers, for the first month of progression, anytime you zoned into a raid instance, it would wipe all your world buffs. Which I know a lot of people really like that as like a middle ground. So for the progression races, you wouldn't be able to use world buffs. Obviously, we
Straw
haven't
poll in
seen
the
that.
chat. Let's see if you guys love or hate world buffs. We'll see. So it appears on that when we're talking about the crowd favorite, by an overwhelming majority, I mean over double, the crowd favorite is Apes. I think the Apes marketing department goes hard, man. Like they got some flashy PvP.
Yeah, dude, it's Monkey News and XN and Flexity. Like
Is Tribe in there?
There's a-
I forgot.
they have a lot of big streamers, and just by getting world first molten core, a lot of people see that and they just think they're the favorites.
Yeah. Yeah, Apes is a lot of people like Apes. I shout out the Onslaught though. Good amount of people, you know, voting for Onslaught. Love to see that. That's cool, man. Rain, 3 votes. All right. Well, let's see what the outcome of this world buff poll is. Are you guys? Well, Tyler doesn't like world buffs. I think I don't. I think
more people that it's actually pretty slightly heavier on.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying getting world buffs, right? But at the same time, okay. Wow, most people don't like it, huh? Yeah, 64%. Look at that.
I would have liked to have seen the game without world buffs. That would have been a lot more interesting to me. That's sort of, it's not so much that world buffs are evil, I just think that it would have been a more interesting game without them, because it would have been more even playing field, and there would have been less of this weird meta stuff.
Well, could you say the same thing about consumables, though?
I mean,
what if it's painful to get world buffs?
I don't think they add as much to a player.
Yeah, I don't think it's
you know what I mean.
much.
It's not.
It doesn't turn into a routine. It's like, well, just put them in your backpack and bring them, you know? Like, who cares?
Yeah, we're talking like you could pop every DPS consumable on a warrior, and that's about equal to the head buff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. They start becoming like almost multiplicative when you start getting so high.
Yeah.
When like your crit, so high on your AP, and then it actually change your itemization. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
start
you're
focusing
hitting
on
crit
what you
cap,
wear,
and you have
how
to
you
start
gonna-
changing your gear. Yeah, I mean, it's
Maintaining
crazy.
the world buffs, though, dude, is that part of the skill of Classic WoW, though, at the same time? You know, world buffs, getting wiped or something can make or break guilds, dude. People get so angry, man, when they lose their world buffs.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, dude. Like, they will rage out. They will G-quit. They will leave the raid. You know, if you know.
I
if you
mean,
do
in
something
that
stupid and-
sense.
I've had people do just straight up like DC. They die and then they DC, and you're like,
Oh yeah,
what? Like,
we've even
seriously?
had that too, and it's just like, okay. I mean, it's in that sense, it's perfect because that is classic, right? That is like the classic guild drama. World buffs brings that full tilt, so yay for that. It's the best.
I mean, I think that breaks a bit of the community aspect, though. You know, if people get that bent out of shape over it. I mean, I've had moments where I've gotten seriously upset about losing them, and you know, then you at the same time you're like, well, I'm not gonna leave, but you know, if someone does leave, or then they start like getting pissed at the other members of their guild, you know, it is a game. It is supposed to be fun, and you know, it's fun to have those, but it's not fun to be so like bent out of shape because you're like spend all this time getting these things. You know, go to Dire Maul, get this, go to Darkman Fair, you know, go grab your song fight, get the head, get the war chief, get all this stuff, and it's like you're spending hours of time to save, you know, what, 20 minutes? You know what I mean? Like, oh, your actual clear time with or without them, like how much difference is it going to make? But still, it's just getting angry at each other over, I don't think it's necessarily a good thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into this speed clear, guys. This is probably going to be one of the most exciting things we do here today. So strap in. This is cool. We have a bunch of people here reviewing this, the world record speed run. Unless somebody can link me something faster than this. This is the world record right now at this point in time before BWL launches. And for those of you asking, once BWL does launch, we are going to be jumping into the player perspectives via their respective Twitch streams, and we will be just tabbing back and forth, trying to keep an eye on the different guilds as they make their way through Blackwing Lair. So without further ado, let us get into this. Here we go. Loading up. So you might have a little bit of delay. Do you guys want to load it up on your own screens as well, and we sync up and play it? Because if you're watching it on the stream,
Yeah, here, link it in Discord.
Drop a link in the.
just YouTube it right now. Very low production value stream here. I don't know if just type in world record speed run BWL. It's gonna be by Vanguard second tank POV. And try and get it so it's at like 15 seconds, and then we can start it all at 15 seconds together.
Yep. Wow, look, I've watched this video. I knew I recognized this video, absolutely. Alright, I'm ready to play when you guys...
All right, get to 15. Let's all get there at the same point in time together, and we'll play it.
Funny enough, the first like 4 or 5 minutes of this, there's not going to be much to talk about, but that's okay.
Well, why is that? It's still killing Razor Gore stuff.
Yeah, but Razor Gore's kind of like an auto-scroller, you know?
You think so?
You can only do it so fast with the eggs.
That's it.
We'll go into that, though. Go into why it's an auto-scroller, though. Like, go into...
Well, so how the fight works is ads come out of each of the 4 corners, and one, maybe 2
I'm
players.
ready
Yeah,
to
let's
do
go
it.
ahead and play it
Let's watch
while
the
I...
ads come out of the...
Okay,
corner.
well, it's gonna go by so fast. That's the thing for each fight. So let's pause real quick. Just okay. Assume that everybody has never done BWL in their life. Put a 1 in the chat if you've never done BWL in your life. You never stepped in before. This is your first time. No shame here. Like, you know, we're gonna help everybody out here. We're gonna just play this together. And Go through it real, like the light and polite of Razorgore. Here we go. You start in BWL, this is what you're looking at. You're already at the boss, guys. Yeah. Look at all the ones. See? So many ones. So many ones.
Oh, wow.
Let's see it. So, a sea of ones.
Wow.
An actual sea of ones. Look at all the ones. Never saw so many ones in my life. So.
I mean, I can do a quick explanation.
Yeah. Give us the high. Yeah.
So how this works is you kill the orcs up on this platform, and you right-click an orb to mind control the boss. You use the boss to break all of the eggs in the room. While that's happening, ads are going to be coming out of each of the 4 corners of the room. You just kill the ads while the person mind controls the boss. And then after you break all the eggs, you just kill the boss. And he does a couple of AoEs, and but it is like a fight of attrition.
Fight of attrition. So usually break up in different groups, right? You can do a little sapper charge tempo play up on that platform. Some people talk about this fight though and say that this could break guilds right here, and that some people will say BWL is front loaded in terms of difficulty. So you don't think so? You think this is pretty brain dead, pretty easy?
In some ways, it is a little front loaded. Like the trash packs are going to be what gets you for a while down the line. It's not the bosses.
I mean, you have these gatekeepers, you know, at the beginning of Razorgore and Vale, and you know, we've all killed them, you know, hundreds of times probably, and done the fight over and over and over, and we understand the mechanics, know what's happening. Now, look at reflective of chat, right? We just saw, as he said, a sea of ones. Like people haven't done this, or they've maybe done it on retail and they go in and they one-shot everything and, you know, kind of silly whatever. But you have all these people that don't have the experience with it. They don't, you know, they're not familiar with all the mechanics. Yes, the information's there, but, you know, and I'm not insulting anybody specifically, just saying, like, from a leadership standpoint, I literally have taken the guilds on the prep servers all the way from, you know, MC to Nax, and you can give them links, you can give them guides, you can give them videos. People don't watch the stuff, and you're like, oh, we should all know it. But they come in, they expect an explanation, and they expect to be able to just pick it up on the fly. There's gonna be tough times for some of the guilds out there. I mean, the discussion today, again, is focused around World First, where these are the guys that are similar to us. They've all done it a bunch of times, but you still got to remember from like an average player perspective, where are they going to end up, and how is it going to be, and how are they going to manage? And I've discussed, I think, some of the first hang-up points on Razorgore. You're going to be looking at what are your points of contention. First thing is they're going to be mind exhaustion on the orb controller. So
mind exhaustion.
What that is,
what is that? Sorry.
I think that's what it's called. There's like, it was a debuff that you would control the orb, and after you controlled the orb, you would get this debuff that wouldn't allow you to control it again immediately. Where on the private servers, you could basically click right, it would drop, and then you could pick it up right again. So you're going to have to coordinate between 2 people. And one of the things that was troublesome back in the day was your connectivity and latency. So like, I remember times, because I had done it back then, and I was actually playing on dial-up when we first started playing. So like, you're trying to click the freaking orb, and you're like, click like 56K modem, like it's dialing in, you know? And they would always be this thing where like sometimes you would get hit, or it would break early, or something like that, or you might lose control. But for whatever variety of reasons, you'd have to have the other guy pick it up, and now you've got the debuff, and then there'd always end up being like a third person scrambling to get it. So you'd have some of those types of things going on. Now the connectivity shouldn't be a problem now, and whether that debuff is going to be there or not, we don't know yet. And if it is, that's something people have to manage and be prepared for. As well, you're looking at the ability of the performance of the healers. Like, so you're in this egg break phase, and what you're going to have is you're going to have, you know, are they going to be kiting the Dragonkin, or are they going to be killing them? I think the meta is going to be kill them for all the groups we're going to see tonight. But if that's not the case for other guilds, because their healers aren't either keeping up with damage.
For a speed run though, right?
Yeah.
You were not going to kite stuff away, right? You're just going to cleave it all.
No,
down.
you're going to kill it.
It
doesn't matter. It's just about controlling the mobs, because you just have to get the eggs. So eggs, then Razorgore, that's a timed process. The mobs are inconsequential.
So from a speedrun perspective, I guess we're going to look at it in a second, guys. Last thing before we start on this one boss. For the average semi-hardcore guild, I'm assuming most people are in semi-hardcore guilds. They're not like huge pumpers, you know, but they pump from time to time. Now, out of 10, what the difficulty level of this first boss here for Razorgore? Like, take off your big brain hat and put it down for a second, and just, you know, step into the semi-hard. I mean, you've been, yeah. What do you think?
Probably a 5, I think.
Yeah, assuming like decent MC gear, and you know, you're just playing like pretty normally, probably around like a 6 for me. That was an average guild.
Okay. 6 out of 10, I said. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to switch over to presentation mode. You're not gonna see our ugly mugs. So you guys,
Let me know when to start mine as well.
Okay, we're all at 15 seconds, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna start it in 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you just run in, blow up these ads, and
then you assume your positions.
Saw some
Yeah, you
sappers
start-
go out there too.
definitely killing those ads. I mean, the person can just run up and click the orb. So really, just blowing stuff on those ads is just for parsing. But if you do blow 5-minute cooldowns on those ads, they will be back up for the boss. Just a fun tip.
Another-
From a speedrunning perspective, anything everybody except for Razorgore killing eggs doesn't really do anything apart from keep the raid healthy. Because just killing eggs now is the next step to killing the boss fast.
And something too about this too is the order in which they're doing the eggs by position is going to impact it as well, because if you start at one side of the room, you're wasting time traveling, so you want to get that egg break on cooldown, and start getting them in such a way, I think, where you're going to wind up running through the room and finishing the final egg in the position that you want the boss in when you're killing them. I think that's you're
The
shaving
egg position
there.
It's not super important because there's still a really long timer for that. I don't remember how long it is, but it's like 10 seconds or something. So
Yeah,
there is plenty of time to get from egg to
Yeah,
egg.
but you want to get it on cooldown and make sure it's on cooldown.
Yes,
as long as you're not
you want to
losing
be
That's what I'm
ready
getting
for
at.
sure. Don't want to
And then
rush
again,
it,
if you're mining, because you see what he did there, he immediately popped the first egg and then went to the ones next to it, and now he's working his way across the room, and then he'll come back, always making
So
sure
there
he's breaking an
we
egg.
saw the debuff break. It might give you a debuff after you do the orb and your mind control breaks, because it only lasts for 90 seconds. If that happens, somebody else would have had to been there to click the orb.
I
and
wonder
just continue the chain, keep it going.
some of the add-ons with, because I'm sure all these top guild people are using not stock UI, so I wonder if they're going to have issues with their add-ons not liking pets. If they've thought about that,
Yeah,
like
that's
mind
something
control.
I've already considered, because I know I'm going to be
Oh
doing
my god,
the orb.
where's the button?
I've already got my pet bars ready to go, and I've tested them.
Yeah, I've had that happen before where I clicked it, I had to trade it off to somebody because of that. But making sure those are up, that's an important thing that's easily oversightable, particularly because tanks, if you have a tank doing, which they're doing here,
they're
don't
not
normally
a
have
hunter
pet
or
bars out.
something, Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we just see, as I was talking about, this is kind of an auto-scroller, but you can't see the DPS, but I'm
all
sure
the
they're
DPS
just
are just
absolutely tearing
ripping
apart the ads that come out of the
ripping the ads
corners.
apart.
And
Now, would you say this is an auto scroll though? Is this a fight, this fight number 1, that you can expedite in some way for a speed run, or you're
No, this
pretty
is-
much set in
no,
time,
this is
right?
it. This is the
This
fight.
is as fast as you can go.
As fast as you go, you could be the biggest bumpers, doesn't matter. So
Yep.
what
until
You're
the
standing
boss
there waiting
comes
for the
out.
mobs to come out.
You're
Yeah,
waiting
until the
for
boss is attackable, there isn't much in terms of
the
speed
boss
increase.
has a cooldown for how fast he can kill eggs, and so you have to kill all the eggs. So that's just how fast you can kill eggs.
Well, another note though too is the boss has other abilities that you can use depending on how your guild is doing it. He can also sleep the Dragonkin when they come out. He has a sleep ability which can be used if you're using a different method where you're not killing everything, or if for some reason you're in a pinch and you need to CC one of those dragons. The other thing too is he has an AoE like fireball volley that you can use to actually damage the mobs, which can be utilized from time to time, but you wouldn't want to use it when you're across the room from your DPSers if you're stacking them on one half of the room. But if you're doing the four corners and you're killing everything, you can still use that to just add a little extra damage to the mobs as well.
So there we saw that he actually did decide to swap off. I believe this guy is going to be tanking this boss. So he doesn't want to have to go immediately from the mind control orb. He just wants to be on top of the boss, ready to go, and not lose any globals when the boss does get released.
And
So-
here's a question for you guys. What's your opinion on who should be the orb controller and who should be the final orb controller?
Well, there was a question of threat actually on private servers. There was a really large static amount of threat that you gained whenever he broke, and then it would reset if you mind controlled him again. So whoever has threat at the end, so I
Always
guess he
get a
did
big
go
chunk.
back to. So yeah, so he is going to be tanking it.
See what they
So
did.
here
They
you
did
see
exactly
they
what I
all
said.
collapse.
They finished where the last egg is right where they want to tank it.
So this is
And
a
it'll
little
go
bit
right on
different
him because of the
the
threat.
speed run that most people would do a line of sight to avoid him, but since this is such a strong group, they're just burning him down.
Yeah.
So is
There's
this the
the
thing where
flag,
all the
but-
guilds are
Oh
going to
my
be progressing
God.
through this at the same time? He's getting absolutely.
Dude, they got what, one can flag and like I didn't even see a fireball volley go off, did it?
Yeah. No, he did one conflag, and I didn't see a volley. I wouldn't expect it to be quite that fast, but
That's
expect
crazy.
that strategy, no hiding from the top
So
guilds.
if you're raid leading, right? Imagine you're raid leading, and it's on you to push the raid forward. What are you saying to your troops at that point as he's going down? I figure, I would imagine, you're getting ready, like everyone's proceeding at the same pace. As you said, it's an auto scroller. Now it's really.
You just want to make sure. I would tell my guys, make sure you have cooldowns for boss and pre-pop. Have your fire pots pre-potted already, and then get ready to. I would want to
'Cause they're gonna
pre-pot 2 minutes.
They're gonna
before
repot
boss
here,
comes
too.
out. Yeah, and then you repot for Veil, so it's back up for Veil. So
Mm.
pot, potion organization is very important. So here we're on
You're not
Veil.
sitting there for 2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, here we're on Veil. It's just pretty normal. You can see the heals coming in. They're trying to proc Inspiration. They're trying to proc the Shaman armor buff. I forget what it's called because I don't play
Jesus,
Horde.
Man, he's getting destroyed, dude.
And again, expect this level of DPS. Maybe not quite so extreme, but this is exactly how it's going to
Yeah,
look.
it might not be this bad, but it's going to be pretty bad with all the world buffs.
I didn't catch
especially-
it. Did he use Reckless on that?
He
Oh,
did
God.
not. No, he did.
Wow. Oh, I was going to say wow. But
No, no,
it looks like they're setting up to do the trash skip.
Actually.
Yeah, now everybody's got that debuff on them right now,
Oh, no,
which
no.
increases
He did
that
use it for
unlimited. They've got that unlimited.
Oh,
energy
so here's the
rage.
trash skips. So
By the way, that's not the stream lagging. The VOD is kind of lagging, and people are saying that it's lagging. I'm checking right now, trying to make sure. Like the VOD is just a little bit laggy itself.
yeah, it's the VOD.
Okay.
So we do see trash skips here. This is the meta on a lot of private servers. They were coded differently.
Yeah, we'll have to see if this is doable
So
or
wait,
not.
explain what just happened right there. They just yeah.
They
So
use
Hunter-
a hunter to pull those 2 packs, and they pull them down the one side of the platform ramps in the Veil Stras's room, and the raid's waiting on the opposite side. And what they do is it keeps the raid out of combat, and then the hunter can just run and feint it off. And I'm assuming they'll summon them back through.
If that doesn't work, if that does not work, you'll likely just see AoE strats on those. There are other
Yeah,
runs
they'll
where you
just
can't
burn
skip
them.
those packs. Do not be surprised if you see top guilds just run in Sapper Dynamite on those packs and just literally cleave them down.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise
The
me.
legendary suppression room, boys. Can you give the people a little bit of let's stop right here. I'm gonna pause it right here. Is this suppression room? Who's scared of suppression room in the chat right now? I feel like a lot of people who have never done BWL, they hear about it and they're like, "Oh no, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna ruin it for the guild. It's gonna be. I'm scared of it." Can you give us the overview of the suppression room and your perspective on how difficult it is?
I think it's just about if you're doing what would be, I would say, the traditional method of pulling some of them, holding the ads, putting the piston down, moving forward a little at a time, which I don't think most people are going to do that. But doing that, it's all about just like coordination and listening to what your raid leaders is calling. If you're doing the skip method, I think even if you're skipping half, like if you're just skipping the first floor, which is we discussed, I think was mentioned earlier, just sending like a stealth succubus across the room, aggroing that last pack, pulling it away, and then the whole raid team running up through half the room. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, it's just about people listening and moving with what's called. I mean, if you've got a raid leader, they should know what's what and keep the group together and coordinated.
So what can go wrong for the average guild in the suppression room? Have you seen some disaster nightmare scenarios?
Aggroing the top level, if you're not intending to, is basically you're dead.
Yeah, most of the issues in suppression room just come down to pulling too many mobs, pulling 2 hatchers at the same time, and not having good. If the first one doesn't die quick enough, your debuffs just stack up too high, and the raid damage just gets out of control.
Another factor too, Chad mentioned is, we're talking about AoE calls because the reason that people collect the whelps and they hold the whelps to the side or at a position for a period of time is because they want them to all die at the same time. And the reason being is you're setting the spawn timer or the respawn timer at the same moment. So if you kill 2 of the whelps from the first pack, and then you kill one of the whelps from the second pack, and then, you know, one of the whelps from the third pack, and those spawn in, you now have like this trickle effect where mobs can potentially continue coming in, and you end up being locked in combat for a period of time you don't want to be. So you're like, you might go, okay, everybody AoE and drink. So it's like AoE, drink, move. And if you're stuck in combat, you can't drink, and then you start having this issue where you're running low on mana, and you can't AoE, and you can't, you know, heal and that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right. Well,
but again, that's mob aggro issues.
Mob aggro issues. Gotcha. All right. So I'm at 807. Sorry, I just paused there. Let's resync up again.
Let me know when.
807. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So yeah, you'll just see a lot of cleaving. So it looks like they're not going to do a skip strategy here, which I guess kind of counteracts the skip that they did earlier. So you're just going to see really, really fast pulling. The Hatchers are always going to be the priority. And you can sheep the Warlocks, but don't expect those to be sheeped. They'll likely just get silenced and pulled into the raid to be clean.
Yeah, but
are we going to be able to interrupt the Hatchers?
They weren't interruptible, but I believe
I thought at one point they were, and one point they weren't, but I don't.
Yeah, they changed it to where they weren't, didn't they?
My assumption is that they would go with when they weren't. But that is a good question. Maybe that is a factor.
Yeah, that's going to be impactful as well, because that'll determine the way, if you're not doing a skip pull, like how you can pull and how many you can pull at one time. Because
the Hatchers do two things. They put a stacking debuff on your raid that deals more and more fire damage over time, and they can also cast a Flame Strike, which is what we're talking about being interruptible.
Yeah, the Flame Strike itself, that's...
So they're grouping up to go to the next level.
Waiting for the trap to go down.
And they're
9 minutes and 20 seconds
on that corner.
Into this
if you're looking for a position that's a relatively safe spot, if your guild's not moving at this pace, right there, the corner of the stairs is a good spot. Not where they were stacked, but you go up that first ramp and you stand in the corner between the two ramp levels, and you only have a couple of whelps to contend with.
Yeah, so they're just kind of trucking through this. Again, lots of cleave. Maybe not this fast of a pace, but this is definitely what we're going to see. It's just going to be a melee comp, pulling the Hatchers one at a time, bursting it, getting healed up.
Your aggro range on the Hatchers could also be a factor too, because at times if you pull a double and you don't mean to, that can be very bad. You know, like, because the way the pathing is, some of you may not be familiar. The room is staggered with those suppression pistons that is famous for slow you down. But they walk back and forth across the room like this. So you have to make sure you're pulling them at a time when they're not lined up in such a way that they're going to aggro to each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the hardest part about it, is just getting the pull timing right.
I wouldn't be surprised if top guilds, or they might even do it here, they'll probably go for like a good out of combat for a second, drink up, and then go into Razor Gore.
Yeah.
Their healer's mana actually looks very good though, so they might not even wait.
Bad.
And for those of you that again are going to be new, if you look at that very, very first cubbyhole they came to on the top right hand side, if you get your entire raid against the wall to the back, is a out of combat safe spot.
So wait, you can skip a bunch of stuff if you have stuff aggroed. You all can just stack up there and drop combat.
No. I'm just saying, like, if you're clearing through in a traditional method, you can, if you have to recover or you need to get mana or you need to sit out of combat for whatever reason, you can get tight into that corner there and in the little cubby, and it will not engage any of the whelps or any of the mobs, even if they're fully respawned.
So again, you're just seeing really, really high boss shred. The melee are positioning themselves against the wall to the right of where the tank is now, so that if there is a knockback, they don't get sent across the room. That's
right
pretty
into
much
the pool. Holy cow!
Yeah, this is impressive. They're just AoEing the first tech pack.
I would not recommend that to any, like, the AoEing the tech
Do
pack
not
like
do that.
Oh my god!
That was
not
a little
do
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
They do so much damage.
The other thing we're gonna have to see too is what damage Broodlord's going to be doing on the main tanks, if they're going to be gibbing anybody.
Yeah.
How challenging is Broodlord to you guys?
It's honestly, it's the combination of having to do suppression and immediately with him at the same time that makes it sort of tricky.
So it looks like, are they waiting?
I think once you
they're
get there,
going right into Firemaw here.
this position? I haven't seen this used.
So it looks like they're going to do the doorway. Yeah, they're going to do a doorway strategy.
So you got your off tank's going to take the buffet right into the door frame.
Yeah,
Is that what's happening there? It looks like?
exactly. So he'll just turn him 90 degrees. Oh man, the lag on this video is
I like
very...
this.
Yeah, instead of using the gate back there, but whichever strategy they use, just... I will say, on a couple of the private servers, Fire Maul was intentionally more difficult.
Yeah, he's
His
tough.
flame buffets were cast much faster than they will be on Classic. This one looks accurate though, every 6 or so seconds. Or maybe, no, even this one looks faster. Yeah, this is actually really fast.
So Fire Maw, I've heard, at least when I was talking with Scarm a few weeks ago, he was saying that Fire Maw is actually, you know, I mean, the dragons aren't the hardest thing ever, but out of the dragons, that Fire Maw is the trickiest one.
Fire Mod to me, Fire Mod is the spot where you can really have a pug group when you're doing them fail. That's when you're gonna have your hitting the wall. So like he's harder than anything else up until that point, usually.
Really? Harder than Veil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is that?
So
what
you
makes
saw
Fire Maw so difficult?
they just kind of
Well, you need good
the
fire
damage.
resist for your tanks.
Good job, Gero.
don't
Yeah.
expect a lot of these trash skips to work. I will
Yeah,
say,
I don't think so.
crazy.
That's nuts.
but mostly it will be very similar to the first Goblin tech pack that they pulled. But they won't be all stacked up right on the goblins. They'll be out of the raid a little bit and hold pretty normally. So you can see they're just going right into Ebonrock here. This is a speedrunning strategy. I wouldn't expect something like this in the world first race. And they're actually going to do the double dragon pull, of course.
They're killing
So,
two bosses at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah,
These
this
bosses
again
are
a little.
super easy, so it's not
Two
surprising.
bosses at the same time. We're
These are
gonna see this today.
Extreme. A little extreme, but not the most uncommon thing in super high speed runs. I
don't think we'll see this today.
I don't think we'll see this today.
Two bosses at the same
because-
time, dude. That's insane.
Because what are you gonna shave off your overall time? 45 seconds to risk it for that would be. I would be surprised if somebody tried this today.
Tony's fast.
Hard to say.
I mean, you never know what strategies people are going to go up and beyond with them.
Yeah, I mean, these bosses are super easy. These are true loot pinatas. These are like no brainer.
These two
Anybody
specifically
can
are.
one-shot 'em, pretty much.
They might as well be dungeon bosses,
Yeah,
actually.
they're so easy.
I mean, it also could be up in the air too, depending on when they get in there. They could say, "Hey, this is not hard. This is easy. Like it's not." It's
Yeah,
not
they could try to
ramped
go
up
for
at
these
all. It feels
really
like
bold-
MC 2.0, and we're gonna go for the double.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible.
It does save a lot of time, I will say, if you have your cooldowns up for that moment, which a lot of their warriors pop.
So why wouldn't
sure
they try
they
that today?
plan
Is if they're going for a world first.
They might. You know, that's the thing. It's like, how fast do you want to risk it? How fast do you want to push?
Yeah,
So
the other
here
thing
was-
too, you could have someone say they're monitoring. They're looking at another group. The other group is like, hey,
Yeah.
they're slightly ahead of us. Let's just push, and
Or
see.
else
Like
not
we're not
gonna
going to
get
get it
world
anyway.
first.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
Yep.
So here we
all-
see Chromag. Usually Chromagus, the 3-pack of dragons was pulled off to the side. I think they were using the Flask of Petrification trick, which is just a flask that makes you invulnerable, invulnerable. So he pulled the dragons to the side. I wouldn't expect that in a normal run. I doubt that would work.
Can
So-
Flask of Petrification, can that remove the time debuff on people?
No.
You're talking about the bronze.
Yeah,
But
because
I don't-
that's one thing that these people are not going to have a chance with is they're going to need those sands.
Yeah, here, I was actually gonna
And
mention
so they
Cargo.
can, even if they
Pause
could
for-
skip trash, they're not going to want to
Pause last
because
Yeah, pause for 2 seconds.
Okay.
So they
Because
obviously just
they're going to need the
tore-
sand, right? And they're
Yeah,
not
they
going to
just-
be able to skip the trash to get that sand.
Take
They
a few
just
steps back.
tore through Chromagus.
Explain to the chat what the sand is. Like people are like, sand. What is sand? Everyone who has a 1 in the chat.
Yeah,
What is a sand? Why you need the sand? Where do you get the sand? What does the sand do?
So trash packs will drop this item called, is it chromatic sand? What is it?
Hourglass.
Hourglass. Sand.
Hourglass sand, yes. Hourglass sand. And so it specifically has one purpose, and that is to remove this bronze debuff from Chromagus. And what is the debuff time limit? Isn't it a 10-minute or
It's
something?
10
Yeah,
minutes
10
long
minutes.
and it periodic. Its stun
It's a
could go off
periodic
here or
stun
there.
that is immune for anything to be able to get rid of. So it's really sucky to have it.
This
Or
that's also
like
gonna be a
Paladin
factor that just-
bubbles.
Yeah, Paladin
just
Bubble
came to mind.
maybe, but yeah, Flask of Petrification. I wonder if that can remove the sand, because that could be their sort of out. Is everybody could have one of those, and have to worry about.
Well,
sand.
usually
that'll save it for like Neff after the fight's over. But here's another
Yeah,
question:
yeah.
how much sand are we gonna get through a run? Like on the private servers,
Right.
it's like 40 to 60 sand a run.
Mhm.
Is it gonna be more than that? Less than that? Like what are we gonna end
Well,
up with? That's
yeah,
a
I mean,
factor as well.
The tanks and the hunters need more just to keep the trank shot rotation
Yeah.
going, and the tanks to not be stunned throughout that. So those
Yeah.
are critical
So
for them.
I think Chromagus is going to be a really, really big point
Honestly,
for a lot of the runs.
just
And what breaths we get
the
are gonna be huge.
logistics of everybody in raid grabbing a sand as they go, as they're
Well,
looting
usually you'll
stuff,
have-
is sort of tricky.
You'll have the master looter give
You
extras
can't
to
give whites.
tanks.
You can't give whites as master looter.
Oh, you can't. Well, you could on privates. You would master loot hourglass.
Right, you can't. It's only greens that
do
you can
that here
master
anyway.
loot. So
I mean, I still believe that people in these kind of high level guilds would have the discipline to figure
I
it
know,
out.
but I mean, everybody's going to be pushing to move forward. Like it's going to be pretty hard to just.
There may be
grab the sand
a
and
trade
move
time.
forward.
Like there may be they might have one or two designated people that are like that
that
guy.
are gonna
He's picking it up while
Trade
they're
as they
going
go
with
through. Yeah.
yeah, free for all, and then he's
Free for
like,
all the loot,
I got
yeah.
8. I got 30 sand. He goes, okay, Bob, give 8 to the tank, 8 to the off tank, and give 7 to each hunter. And like whoever, whatever, and just still be divvying it out. They might even be trading it off during the fight. You could have the
Yeah.
tanks and the hunters
That's gonna be
handed to.
stressful
And-
job though. Oh man.
Yeah, I think Chromagus is going to be one of the big.
Yeah.
One of the big points on the run, not only
Yep.
because of the stands, and as you mentioned earlier, the breaths. Like,
Yes. You do
depending
lose
on what
debuff
breath,
when you die,
your
so I
strategy
guess you could
completely
just-
change.
Yeah, if
could
you're
just
getting,
kill yourself.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would be the case. They're just dying to get it off, but
They purposely die. I mean, it'll make the phase 1 F a little bit trickier because you'll lose your world buffs.
BWL is in 48 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. You're asking about what guilds we're going to be watching today? We're going to be watching guilds from... me. I don't actually have a VOD for... If anyone knows anybody who's streaming in Dream State, let me know. We can watch their POV. But we're watching Onslaught. We're watching Apes. We're watching...
I'm sure Lazonta will be.
Progress. Yeah, so we'll be pulling them up for you guys as we get
Yeah,
closer.
anybody
closer to
that's
BWL.
streaming and we expect to go fast, we'll have them up.
Ale
Yeah.
Gaming, of course. We'll be checking with the chieftain of the Ale Nation. Almost 2,000 people in here, guys. That is insane, guys. People are pretty excited for BWL. Ale, I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for you boys in Onslaught. Hold it down for Scarum, man. Make us all proud. Put us on the map, dude. Make Scarum great again. So yeah, we're going to be watching their perspectives, but right now we're just going through the world record speed run and just putting some commentary on it. All right, let's go back to the Chromagus. Go back to.
What time are we going?
We're gonna go 16. Let's go 16:28. That's what I'm on right now. Let me go back.
16:20. Let me know when.
Give me 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah, I think Chromagus is going to be one of the big stopping points for a lot of people.
He's the real stopping spot. Like if you've gotten up to everything else, Chromagus will stop some guilds.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop these hardcore guilds, but they'll definitely stop your average guild first coming into BWL. He's not easy.
And that's
I wonder if we're going to
entirely
see
dependent
anyone
on the
actually
fans
take like
out there.
a hard stop there, like sit, stop, hand everything out, take a moment versus
We might
doing
see
what we
that.
just discussed.
yeah.
In my mind, I think if it wasn't that close, I would probably sack 1 to 2 minutes right there to
Yeah.
do that.
Future runs definitely they're gonna just zoom right through it because you can have those sands
They'll have
on you
sands
before you
prepared.
even get going. Yeah, but I could see them stopping and just sort of handing stuff out and prepping and getting everything ready.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's keep going. Right, 9. So 16:28. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
Can you guys believe we're almost done with BWL? We've been watching this, and they're almost done. And they've only been playing the video game for 16 minutes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, so they're just finishing up Chromag here. Another thing to note, like I was talking about with mass looting, obviously it doesn't apply to the sands, but for a lot of the loot, you'll just see it automatically distributed. They already know who's going to get what item when, and it'll be immediately upgraded and enchanted as the raid goes. So don't worry, none of these guys will be opening the loot window. So yeah, here we are at Neff.
That's funny, but absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of guys will have pre-popped shadow potions here just to make it a little bit easy, and you'll also see like fire potions.
I was gonna say fire potions too are a little bit nice.
Yeah, both of those. Like
now the other thing we were
management
looking at is that
really
on retail there's a real big discrepancy between private servers and retail with line of sight. That Nefarian can shoot right through all of the columns, so there is no hiding from him with his shadow bolts. So I don't know if that's going to be the same for Classic. I'm very curious to see if there's any line of sight differences between retail and Classic, because there's definitely differences between private servers and retail with how.
I think that'd be kind of disappointing if you can't use the pillar for line of sight for his shadow bolts.
I know, I was surprised, but you can't on retail at all. Yeah. So there's no dodging Nefarian. Like, it doesn't matter where he shows up, he's gonna hit you. So it's like, okay, that's weird.
And those of you who may be questioning what he's talking about, in phase 1 during the fight, as you see what we're seeing here, they have all these death talents coming out of the doorway. There's a reflective doorway on the other side of the room that's doing the same thing with the other half of the raid. But during this phase, Nefarian is in his human form. He's not attackable, and he just kind of teleports around the room, and he's like randomly firing off shadow bolt volleys. And we're referencing the pillar that would be to the left, kind of over, like if you're standing where this group is, it's like over their left-hand shoulder. There's a pillar there you can use to line of sight him sometimes.
Yeah. So again, you just see these ads just getting absolutely
they're just getting
torn to shreds. Don't expect the same thing, the same strats from top guilds, top DPSers. These ads are just going to fall over before they even get out of the caves.
So someone
they
who's
will
watching
last
the stream
longer
right
than
now,
your guild.
someone watching the stream right now might think these are like whelplings or something, right? They may think that this is.
These will be hard for you, an average guildie.
They're seeing it. It looks like it's dying as fast as like just like an Uber's whelp. The average one that pops out of an egg.
Another little 200 IQ moment here is you see how he's got the health bar showing above the heads. A lot of people play like that, but if you don't, you should for this part, because you can a lot of times see the health bar before the mob even fades in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. So it is interesting. So my point, I guess, with the whole pillars and all that stuff is, some abilities allow you to dodge that first shadow flame. So I'm curious if they're gonna all have to wear their Oni cloaks for this, or if they're going to try to take a risky strat.
I feel like for the world race, I would be shocked if anybody didn't have their cloak equipped, regardless of their class or anything.
I think the only ones that could pull it off are maybe paladins.
Explain the cloak mechanic too, because a lot of people haven't been here before. You're mentioning a cloak. There's after all of the dragons spawn, and there's what, like 43 or something that spawn, something like that.
40 to 42.
And so after they spawn, then the Nefarian turns into dragon form and he lands. And right as he's doing that, he will cover the entire place in shadow flame. And if you get hit with shadow flame, you're dead. You're going to die. So
if you're not wearing the Oni cloak.
If you're not wearing the Oni cloak. So that's why everybody has to wear the Oni cloak. And if you do that, then you can survive.
Go ahead and pause it, Kargoz.
Okay.
And then you can go into the next stage, which is just attacking Neff directly.
Yeah.
What is this Oni cloak you're referring to, too? Because might. Well, I mean, does anybody know what the Oni cloak is out here?
Yeah, that's good. So there's what is it? What's it made out of? It's made out of
cinder cloak, and
Cinder clock cloak,
and Onyxia scale. So when you kill Onyxia, you skin her, and from skinning her, you get Onyxia scales, and those can be combined with the cloak to turn into a Onyxia hide cloak, and it specifically is so that it can protect the wearer from shadow flame, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that
it's got stamina and fire
specifically
resist on it.
So it's a BOE cloak.
That ability.
People usually, do you have a tailor in your guild crafted for everybody, and you're like funneling?
Leatherworker, actually.
Well, Taylor makes the cinder cloth, and then you have to take that to a leatherworker, and the leatherworker gets the recipe from.
If they have turned in an Onyxia head, yes. And so you have to have killed Onyxia, and you have to have killed her quite a few times as a guild to have enough scales for everybody to be able to have a cloak to be able to survive the transition from phase 1 to phase 2 Nef. So it's sort of a guild-wide attunement to a certain extent.
Yeah. So outside of that, the cloak and just the phase 1 strategy of line of sighting, I don't really think we'll have to worry about a lot for these guys, the top guys. I think they'll just have to power through phase 1. But into phase 2, as you guys were talking about earlier, same with Chromagus, it is going to be a little RNG dependent. The breaths on Chromagus and the class calls on Nefarian. In phase 2, Nefarian's going to randomly cast an ability, and it's going to be attuned to one of the classes in the game. And there's like you can look up full lists online, but there's a couple like really dangerous ones, like Priest class calls, put a damaging debuff every time a Priest heals. Warrior class calls make the Warrior stuck in Berserker stance, and they could very well get one shot from 100 to 0 health. So depending on how fast they can kill Nef in phase 2 and 3, it'll be interesting to see if, maybe a guild will be on pace for like world record, and just the first class call they get screwed.
So what happens is at phase 3 comes at Nefarian when he gets to 20% health, and so you get a whole bunch of skeletons that spawn, and so the raid needs to be able to pivot to those skeletons and survive that onslaught as they're attacking Nefarian at the same time. So the importance of it is guilds is generally what they do is they wait and don't push Nefarian to that 20% point until Nefarian does a class call that's generally more beneficial to the raid because the class call isn't as dangerous. And so sometimes you can get stuck with a whole bunch of bad class calls in a row, and that can be a real problem. So it'll be interesting to see, will the guilds just push it? Will they just hope for the best? Will they get stuck on really bad class calls over and over and just wait?
I think it's going to be a push. I don't think any of them are going to hold back.
Yeah, no,
because most of them are also going to have insulation by their other, like their off tank or someone chasing high threat, so if the main tank gets murked or something like that. Just so long as they have the coordination to break off to kill all the skeletons, then that's, I think, going to be the only thing of concern. I mean,
I would be surprised even if we saw people breaking off. I wouldn't be surprised if we just saw like 1 or 2 tanks and a couple healers, and they just go sapper and taunt them and hold them for a second while they kill the boss.
Yeah, because
that would be a reasonable strat.
They don't have a lot of health, so it is pretty easy to kill them. They also don't do a ton of damage, but yeah, we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if they do just zerg straight through it.
So someone asked a pretty good question in the chat. Let's see, it's moving pretty quick. He basically said that they don't have enough cloaks for 2 raid groups. What do they do? Who do they triage? Who do they choose to get it?
Well, tanks absolutely must get it first because they need it for not just Nefarian, but they need it for all of the dragons, because all of the dragons actually cast that shadow flame, so it can hurt people. But just that those dragons and the mechanic is avoidable by just simply pointing them in a different direction. So it's the fact that Nef covers the entire floor when he lands that causes it to be raid wide, but it's going to be tricky. Like, I mean, tanks and healers and then other casters, like, you really need your whole raid to have them. So,
you can
buy it on the auction house? I don't know.
You can occasionally get away with having, like, maybe 2 to 4 people max that don't have them. And what you do is you have those players either soulstoned because they'll die and they can get back up. Right. Or you can tell those players, like, hey, camp out, stay in Discord, and when he lands and we get him to position, we'll call it. We'll say, hey, log in, and you can log in after that phase. But I wouldn't really recommend that. I mean, ice block could work too. I wonder if those flash.
That's why, I mean, not to help you so much, but just to say this is why people do split Ani runs, because then you can get double the scales. So maybe it will suck for your first few weeks, but you can come back quicker if you're doing twice as many Anis every week, because if you get 4 scales for each skin or so, then that's 8 scales instead of 4 every week. So that can be helpful.
Gotcha. So do you think how would you rank what are the top 3 hardest encounters in BWL from your mind for the average guild that are going to be, because I usually don't hear Nefarian in the top 3.
I think Nefarian's the hardest, honestly, still.
I would say the same.
I'd put Neff, Chromag, and then it may be depending on it depends on your guild too. Like what's going to be harder for you, Race Gore or Veilstress would be the next one I would throw in there. So
I would say Flame Gore personally.
Flame
I think
Gore, wow. Flame Gore in the top 3.
Neff, Chromag, then Flame Gore to me.
You mean Firemaw?
Is it Firemaw? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I
Firemaw.
I always get those confused. Yeah, the hard firefight one. Yeah, it does.
Firemaw. It definitely.
So much positioning for him that makes it really tricky.
So much respect for Firemaw in here today. So I did one BWL stream before. Some of you might have caught it with Skyrim, and his perspective was on it that like if you're able to get to Nefarian and go through Veil and go through Chromax and stuff, it never ends up usually being an issue to end up killing Nefarian because you've already done like harder stuff at that point, and that you're.
Disagree. Even phase 1 can really screw you over. Like if your guild doesn't really have it and you're sort of low on consumes by that point, it makes it a lot harder. Like Neff without consumes is pretty rough.
Yeah, another interesting thing for Neff I've noticed, or could be for Neff, is that I've noticed the timers, right, for abilities and things. The bosses are not using their abilities on cooldown every single time. So I'm wondering how that's going to be for Nefarian, because in the private servers, it was perfectly timed. Every time the cooldown was available, the ability would go off for the bosses, so you knew what was going to happen. Now, saying like that, is that going to be the same way on class calls? Going to go off like on timer every time, or is it going to be like, okay, on timer now, it'll be in the next couple of seconds, or it'll be in the next whatever? Same thing with some of the other abilities. I'm just curious as to how that'll play out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's going to take a while for the timers to be perfect, make that a little harder.
Okay. Well, let's finish up with this speed run here. We are let's rewind a little bit. Let's go to 1840. 1840.
You want to say?
Yeah, let's get back over.
Okay, let me know when.
Yeah, class calls are only one at a time.
Okay, 1840. I will count it down. Let us resume in 3, 2, 1, go.
So like I said, I would be really, really surprised if... I mean, just everyone in the raid is going to be wearing an Oni cloak. Like, the risk of not wearing one versus the time gained by wearing extra DPS cloaks is not going to be worth it.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah. Now, for these guilds, it's not going to matter what color the dragons are, but for your average guild, it will matter. You definitely change your positioning of who is in front of which hole depending on what color dragons there are, so people will want to.
And that's mostly for casters.
Yeah, casters and melee a bit, but yeah, definitely casters. It's more of a factor of which side mages are on versus warlocks, that kind of thing.
And a lot of guilds like this, if they are pre-positioned in the wrong, they just swap on their own. They know what to do. Like they know what color they're supposed to be after.
Okay, so there was the breath.
Shadow flame.
That's interesting. The tank's pointing them. Where's he going?
He's turning.
There's a hell of a turnaround right there.
That was a big turnaround.
Oh, he's getting the pillar so they can line of sight on the pillar there.
Yeah, the fear line of sight.
Is that big red?
Well, see, that's
on private,
I mean, it depends on
right.
So line of sighting might not be a thing. We're just gonna have to see where the line of sight actually can take place here.
Nefarian casts a fear. And it was it was easily line of sightable or outrangeable private.
It's yeah,
so
one
got
thing
really
too.
Lucky. They got a hunter class call there, which is the easiest out of all of them.
Yeah. Hunters
is the range on that fear
Druid's
and making sure that as
too.
Healers and Dispellers, like decursing on the tank, you're not getting caught with that fear. So you got to be cognizant of that. Plus, another thing to remember too is setting up to have backup, whether Druid or Mage is doing it, depending on what class call is happening, so that the main tank isn't cursed.
So they just pushed it the whole way, I guess, because of the Hunter class call.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what the class calls are off the top of your head, or is it?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
The Hunter one, if they don't have their bow, they have to take their bow off. Otherwise, it breaks its durability.
Or they switch to a backup bow, depending whatever. Yeah, it'll break their bow.
There's a couple that are dangerous, but warriors, it stucks them in berserker stance. Like I said, priests healing.
Mage and priest are the worst one.
Yeah, mages. It randomly polymorphs targets within your range. Druids, it keeps you stuck in cat form, so mages have to decurse the tank. He puts a healing debuff on him that needs to be insta-decurse. Rogues, they get teleported to the front of the boss and rooted. You could vanish out of this on privates, but that's up in the air as well. What else? Warlocks, it spawns Infernals.
Infernals, 2 Infernals per Warlock, which
just run around and stun the raid and deal light AoE damage, and then Paladins and Shaman. Paladins, it puts a bubble on Farian, isn't bad at all. It just stops them.
It's just irritating.
From taking melee damage.
So in a sense,
the
from a
Shaman one adversely
that can be bad.
Is very bad because of them. It takes all the Shaman, makes them drop 4 totems of like 1 from each school, and it just drops them, giving him Wind Fury, Healing Stream, and some other stuff, and it uses the Shaman's mana as well.
You know, the thing about the Shaman one that's going to be really bad for these Horde speedrunning guilds is they are going to be very Shaman heavy, so the Shaman class call could be nasty.
But yeah, definitely a couple of points towards the end of the run that are going to be really big. The Chromagus and dealing with his different breaths, and especially if you get a time lapse, and the sand management, as well as Nefarian and dealing with the class calls is going to be some of the major points of the run, and just trash in general in the earlier stages of the run.
Now, as far as consumes going into Nefarian, I know there's a couple things people mentioned: protection potions, holy water. How do consumes play a role in the Nef fight?
Skunk.
I mean, those are
for these
Sappers are gonna be
guys
stronger than holy water, so most of these top guilds are just going to use sappers instead.
Yeah.
Oh, sappers are strictly better than holy water?
Yeah, it's just the holy
Yeah.
water is free, effectively, and can be used by anybody who's not an engineer. So holy water is an easy backup.
Yeah, but all of these guys they're going to have enough sappers to instantly kill the mobs.
Absolutely.
But again, I wouldn't be surprised if they got an easy class call and kept pushing, if they just completely ignored the ads in Phase 3 and burn Nef.
So getting different class calls, could that actually affect who gets world verse?
If it's that tight of a
close,
race, yeah. I mean, it'll definitely affect from a speed run just how fast the run itself is, not like the time that it was completed in. So it will absolutely affect that. Like a paladin class call could ruin an alliance speed run.
Really?
Yeah, we're talking 30 seconds of melee
30
not being
seconds
able to damage.
of Nefarian being immune, and if everybody just going, well, let's stand here.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
If you get 2 paladins in a row, then you're really hurting.
And the fear, you're saying they're behind this pillar so that they can LOS the fear on demand.
Yeah, you could LOS it on privates, and you could also outrange it. It was only like 20 yards from the boss.
Yeah, that's
all the
that's the
casters
thing
could
that we're
easily
gonna
outrange it.
really not be able to see is that you could LOS the mage class call and you could LOS the fear. You cannot LOS the mage class call in any way on retail.
You just have to range it.
Well, you can't even range
that's why
it. There's literally no range. There's no nothing. Like mages could still hit you from across.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just like who knows what classic is going to be in this case. Like the mage class call might be something you just have to deal with, which would be really difficult. That's a really nasty call.
So there is
That'll be interesting.
Play a role.
Yeah,
in
we don't
messing
know
with
how classic is going to play for this, and LOS on how they're actually going to work could really impact how this plays out.
I see.
That guilds are not going to be used to it.
Well, that's the world record right there that we just saw, guys. 20 minutes and 57 seconds. 57 seconds. It almost looks like they just ran a UBRS or something like that. It looks, super easy watching it then and there, but it's going to be a totally different beast when you're going through it. Not at this level with all these consumes and world buffs. They have stuff like ZG buff. It looks like they just had everything, right? Full Nax gear. Things will be substantially harder, but we'll have to see. So we're less than 30 minutes away from starting. Less than 30 minutes away from Phase 3 Blackwing Lair. Man, oh man, the time is flying. 6 months into Classic WoW already, guys. Game has been out for a little bit of time now.
It's very exciting.
It's going to be nice to have 2 raid tiers out at the same time now, so there's going to be a lot more to do on raid nights. It's going to be much more fun.
Yes, there are guilds streaming the speedrun. We're going to try and get player perspectives from Apes, from Onslaught, from maybe Dream State, unless they're just linked to someone from Dream State, or Duncan Dead. we're going to be trying to get you as many player perspectives as possible. And we're a pretty low production value stream here, guys. So if you can help us keep tabs at the same time, we'll be doing our best of all the different guilds and their current, standing. We'd appreciate it. It would help so we can pull up the right POV at the right time. But it's gonna. What do you guys think are gonna? What is it gonna come down to? Is there any finesse with these strats here, or is it literally smashing up?
I mean, I think in any of the fights, there's always something. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean, to me, coordination is always the important part with speedruns. That just getting 40 people to do exactly what they need to be doing at the right time is paramount.
Yeah, I mean I think there's any possibility. Like if you're pushing really hard, I think most of these guys are skilled enough. It's not going to happen, but it can. Someone pulls aggro at the wrong time. Somebody is out of position. I mean, most of them are those top performers. They're already on point with what they're doing, but there's things that can happen that just happen. There's always that variable, but the biggest hangups are going to be, I think, the colors for Chromag and the calls and whatnot for Neff. I think those are the two big factors there. Everything else is going to be consistent.
Getting into the dungeon is going to be a big factor too, because it's going to be
true. Yep.
Can you get your world bus in there? How long is it going to to take you to get in there and get coordinated and get started? That's not trivial, especially on PvP servers.
Could you go into that, Tal? Those of you thinking about this.
Well, I mean,
if you're Alliance, you're outnumbered, right? And you could be the best, most well-rehearsed guild ever with all the consumables, and you get all the world buffs, and your shot at top 10 or world first or whatever could be totally destroyed by horde camping the entrance.
Yeah, I mean,
even a delay of 5 to 10 minutes would be huge.
Absolutely, it could be huge. Who knows? It could be really, really tight. So we're just gonna. It's gonna be massive. Just who gets to start first, and how clean of the start is it? How many of their raiders didn't die on the way in?
I saw. I think it was in Twitch chat earlier. They said Progress has enough people that they're gonna have like 40 people in the mountain just guarding or trying to help them get in. Even I think I saw that someone mentioned that earlier, and I'm like, that's big brain right there. Like if it was me, you need to have that.
That's necessary. 40 might not be enough. I mean, it is. It's gonna be crazy. Everybody. And then, then, okay, let's say if it is gonna be that big of a struggle, then is it gonna be some kind of like lag fest that's gonna crash stuff? I mean, geez. So
that could be a factor as well.
It could be a factor as well. So
what about zoning in from UBRS? Do you have to hedge there? Like if you zone in from there, are you basically not getting some world buffs or not getting some things, but you're kind of just hedging that you're actually gonna be able to get in?
I don't know, how fast does it take to clear with 10?
With perfect coordination, you could just have already done that last night, and then you just have the 10 people who are designated to zone in that instance, and that's all. Like with perfect coordination, you could do Ubers and get everyone in very appropriately.
You could use alts to clear it and funnel in the 10 and then...
Exactly.
That's true. You could do the alts, you could pre-clear it, and then just run them in and get them.
It's the safest, but you would have needed to already do this like over the past multiple days.
Not surprising if they did do that, but
I wouldn't be surprised if they've been practicing even just the zone-in process, because a lot of these guilds have their own little PTRs set up, like little private servers that they run, and they've tried their very best to emulate the classic values.
Afterlife is having multiple guilds make recipes.
Oh, thank you for the donation, man, for the $2. Afterlife is having multiple guilds make recipes. Gotcha, appreciate the 2. They've been rehearsing BWL for weeks and weeks now. So it wouldn't surprise me if they would go to the. I mean, that would. Oh man, if we see one of the top guilds get wiped by like no hit Jerome with like 15 mages unfairly, and I imagine Rain gets wiped by no hit. Jerome might do it, man. He might have the most hype stream if he wipes one of the top guilds. It's possible. He has 15 mages with sappers and blast wave. If he gets one of the top guilds, man.
Horrible.
Holy. How fast
that
do you guys
would be brutal
to clear? That's a good question, Chris. So yeah, we can talk about this a little bit now. What do you guys think? The time is going to be. So we just saw progress. That was progress, right? That we just saw 20 minutes or so. We're not going to have as many. Vanguard, my bad. We're not going to have as many world buffs, and we're not going to have as good gear as them. Now, some people are saying they're not in full max gear. That's TBD. But are we going to see 20-ish minutes? You're going to see 30, 40, an hour, you think?
I think 30, 40, personally.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. Unless there's something that we haven't foreseen that's going to be more challenging or turn into a speed bump for multiple groups, I think it's going to be that 30-40 minute.
Yeah, I'd be estimating like a 30 to 35 to 40. Probably 40 is my safer bet.
I think 40 might be high end. I think they could go real quick, but it'll just depend on how much they can skip. Because we saw how much trash that Vanguard run skipped. Like they skipped practically all those packs, and they're not going to be able to skip all those packs. I would be shocked if they skipped all those.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think that'll work, and I would hope that wouldn't permit that to work. I mean, being able to skip so much, I think is kind of takes away from what you're doing. The other thing too is like they're gonna need to kill them for sand.
Yeah, they need sand.
So they're gonna have to kill all that stuff.
It's either you kill the trash packs, or then you sit there for 10 minutes while all of your melee are getting stunned randomly for 10 full minutes. It's just that doesn't work.
So
yeah, the other thing too is they might just do, because you could do Chrome Egg. I've seen it done with literally sand on the tank and hunter, and that's it. Like you can do it that way, and then tell everybody.
And then after the fight, you pop your sand.
Use the one sand to clear the debuff.
Yeah, without a doubt. I would expect that. I would expect that. It's just people. It's people just save their sand and use it after the fight, because you cannot wait for that debuff.
Yeah, that's a nasty debuff.
So this is going to be one of our main POVs that we take a look at. It's one of the crowd favorites. Nice guy, Salvador from Scarum, Onslaught. Big pumper, warrior there, right there, Lieutenant General Salvador. Looks like he is reviewing some speed runs right now through Molten Core. So some of the players are getting ready to do this, boys. We are less than 20 minutes out from Blackwing Lair being part of the Classic WoW ecosystem. That is crazy. 19 minutes. Man, oh man. I'm sure you guys... Anybody actually about the raid right now? Who's literally going for it? Who's going for it right now? If you're... Is there anybody from one of these guilds that we're talking about right now in the chat? I wonder. Maybe one or two, man.
Well, I bet there's a few.
Think so?
Yeah, definitely.
We got some big brains in the chat lurking. How much help do you think the BRD Phase 3 recipes are going to be? Nightfall stuff?
They're going to be irrelevant, because these guys are just going
There's no way they're going to have a chance to craft those. I mean, just the crafting time is like 1 minute. They're not going to waste 1 minute, even if they had the pattern ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raid is until tomorrow? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm actually going to raid at 5 p.m. Pacific time, so right after we watch someone get world first, I'm gonna be setting up to get in there today, raiding with Def Camp, Melderon, all them. So
well, let's just say the world first better be faster than 5 p.m. because come on, that'd be pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Either the guild suck or we've got major server issues. Thanks, so we'll see.
What would be the craziest things to watch, man? The craziest thing would be wipes. Big brain guilds wiping sounds like kind of fun to watch. Getting. Doing some
contention before they get in, I think would be interesting.
Yeah, going for how many dragons they go. That's another thing, right? What comes to mind right now that you think is going to really determine who's going to get it? Do you think some guilds are just more geared than others? Is it going to be a combination of RNG on things? They're probably all prepared, right?
Comps. How many? Is it going to be pure melee comps, or are they going to go with some more casters? See what the comps.
Something I even wonder too. We were talking about hunters earlier, and like, you need 2, or how many you need. I'm like, yeah, everybody's gonna be swapping them. Like you just take in like extra damage, and then like you swap the hunters last second before Chrome Egg or something. But I don't know if that's bad or not.
Seems like that would take too long for that. But for one extra person, I don't know.
Yeah, it just crossed my mind.
Yeah. I mean, because hunters still don't do horrible damage these times. Like obviously warriors are still win, but hunters aren't really bad. Like,
ooh, give the hunter that Adrathul, man. Big slapper crossbow.
Oh yeah, man.
Crossbow. That thing is awesome. I know the hunters are excited for that. Get rid of that rock, Talar. Get rid of that rock. Yeah, we're going to be switching between different POVs. So right now we have I'm Alive. Shout out to him. He's someone's gonna know what's he in. Let's see. He is in Progress. Okay, we got Progress. I'm Alive. Nice guy. Big brain. Warlock. And then we also have Salvador right here from Onslaught. We're going to be checking in with him. And then Moo UK, if he's streaming, we'll see if he's streaming. Lazanta. Also...
Mytaz is streaming. And Laddie is as well.
Laddie's from what, Dream State or?
That's Salad Bakers.
Oh, Salad Bakers. Okay. Yeah, let's get that up here as well. Laddie 1337.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I'm actually looking on something. I don't know if he's going to be doing it or not. He's still in PvPing right now.
Yeah.
So the title of the stream says going for world first. Yeah, the apes are obviously.
Okay, let me get the Lottie stream up. Let's see here.
I mean, most of them are just in waiting room. They don't want to give away any information of where their characters are or anything.
Right. Streaming with delay and probably all that as well, I would imagine. He is live. Yeah, Lottie is live. Going for world first BWL Salad Bakers. What a spicy title, man. Just proclaiming it in the freaking stream title. Salad Bakers going hard.
Hey, he dressed the job he won, not the one he got.
Well,
They want that world first.
they got a chance.
Who's the sleeper cell guild here, though? Let's see. What about Gussie? Is Gussie sleeper cell? Senseless? Seems kind of sleeper cell. What about the Chinese guild, man? CN United? What if they take the cake? We'll have to see.
That'd be interesting. I mean, I've seen the Chinese guilds do things I'm like that I thought were crazy on the private servers. Like, oh yeah, we give the Nefarians tier to give it to warriors for the 2-hit. I'm like, what? Like they were giving it to tanks and stuff for the horsemen. I'd never even occurred to me that that'd be something to do. And I was like, that's crazy.
mean, I'd give it to a druid for that. I think that's a great idea.
Their gearization is
Need that for warriors.
very odd in certain times, but there's reasons to do it.
It was just, yeah, it was crazy when I saw
Give a
that.
Nels tier to a warrior? Wow.
Yeah. So like they do things that are like unique, and I'm like, man, I don't know that I'd see that as a thing, but hey.
I mean, I took Angelista's belt as a druid for tanking for 4 horsemen, but that's because people don't really need it that badly, and it was great, you know? It's not much of an armor loss for a druid, so I think that's a smart way to go, but it's not stealing Nels tier.
Yo, I wonder if there's any retail guilds that are going for it. Like retail BFA guilds. I wonder, man.
Do they really do speed type clear stuff? I mean, it doesn't seem like the same kind of mentality.
Can you even play both? Probably not, dude. I don't think there's enough hours in the day to play both.
Yeah.
No, not on barely on this level of preparation.
But if you guys have votes for whose POV you want to watch, put it in the chat, boys. Let's show some love to the players you're trying to support here today, and we'll give it a look. We'll throw it up on the stream and talk about it. We are 13 minutes away, man. 13 minutes. Cheese and rice. Onslaught.
Get in there.
We got Ale Gaming, Chieftain of the Ale Nation. We'll be watching his stream. Also got Salvador. Maybe Alkaiser. Alkaiser streams too. I'm pretty sure. We'll see if he's up there. Let me see what Jerome's up to. Don't tell me he's getting ready to freaking wabap people on his mages.
He's in the mountain, bro.
Oh my god, he's getting ready to wabap people on the mages. He's all in spirit form. He's getting ready, dude. He's about ready to start a foot clap. Oh no. Oh
He's gonna spawn and just.
That's the
gonna do it.
Fairlina. That's Fairlina right there, man. All right, let's.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like specifically on that server, like it's gonna be more difficult because just the community.
Yeah, we're gonna be watching I'm Alive, Beast Soaker. All right, hit me with some of the dopest gear in BWL, boys. The dopest gear. Chat, help me out here. What's the most fire gear?
Elementium Ore. Oh wait, I mean.
Your Elementium band?
Thunder Fury.
Let's take a look, dude. What's the Thunder Fury? The Blessed Blade?
Technically, yeah, you could qualify that as BWL loot.
The Blessed Blade of the Meme Seeker.
I mean, really,
that.
I would look at stuff like underrated, really big items that everyone knows, you know, like DFT, Rejuve Gem.
DFT's a lot less, it's a lot more lackluster than it used to be now with how, like, we figured out how skill and hit works and whatever.
Oh, DFT,
like,
you mean that's the Hunter, that's the Hunter item, right?
Yeah. The Hunter item,
the Hunter item, yeah, sure.
That's the Hunter pile, right?
But,
I
don't know, maybe not like the top tier #1 items out of BWL, but really keep an eye out for stuff like T2 Mage Gloves, Mind Quickening Gem, Scrolls for Paladins,
oh yeah,
Presters.
Gem, oh my god.
Like these are all items that are really big high contention items.
What version of Presters are we getting? Do we know?
It should be end game,
I'm
so it should
sure
be the
it's
pure
30.
agility one.
Yeah.
Which piece of gear? I mean, you guys have passed out lots of gear over the years. Which one gives you the most trouble in BWL, man? What are the people fighting the hardest for?
Drake Fang, probably.
Think so? Why though? Why is it so good, Dalajil? Explain to me why this is just
Because of all that hit, man. All the hit and the attack power. Everybody wants it. Warriors, rogues, druids, hunters. Everybody wants that.
Isn't
Tanks.
that disgustingly
Nearly
good?
enough.
It's a trinket, man. It looks like a
No,
freaking
but-
It's a lot of
claw.
AP, man.
It's two hit, but then you also have to consider on top. If you just took a trinket and said this trinket has 2 hit, it would still be the best trinket in the game, and it also has 56 AP.
You're saying
And
you're saying if there was a
dodge.
trinket that just said 2% hit, it would be the best trinket in the game.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah,
still be one of the
pretty
best
much,
trinkets in the
It'll be
entire
one
game.
of the best. Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh.
just, it's insanely good. It's
Oh.
I mean, if you
insane
took
good.
if you took Nest
Oh.
tier, it's the exact same thing. If you took Nethalian's tier and you just said 2% spell hit on a trinket, it would be best in slot trinket for warlocks forever.
I mean, Reju Gem is insane too. Like, those trinkets are just unbelievably good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what else? DFT is one. What's another one? What's another spicy piece of loot? Something we can look at, man. We can't even look at a trinket.
Malfurion's Blessed Bulwark. Ah,
Blessed Bulwark. Alright.
Yeah, the Cardor.
Blessed.
oh, the
Wait,
Kargoz.
wait.
Shield
the
looks
blessed-
hot, man. That shield looks
The
hot.
shield does look good, but no. I'm talking about the chest piece, man.
Oh
Wait, what is
yeah.
it? The
I was
bulwark?
like, you're not talking about that bulwark.
Fury Warriors and Feral.
Oh,
Druid.
80 attack power?
No, Fury Warriors don't use that. They use
You're gonna be
SG.
using...
Car door, dude. You guys like the car door? Yo, that shield
Nah,
looks
shields are
fire,
overrated.
bro. Look at that shield, bro. On a troll warrior?
What is this? Anathema? Shields are overrated.
It looks cool. It looks cool. Come on.
Is this the coolest shield in the game? This
Face of
has to
Death,
be
I
the
think, has
coolest
got
shield
up
in
on
the
Face
game.
of Death.
There's one up on that, but that's my second favorite shield right there.
This has got to be. One's in the chat if this is the coolest shield in the game. What's cooler than this shield?
Sub-
Car door?
It's
Sub
a pretty
10
good
minutes.
one. It's a pretty good one.
About 10 minutes. There we go.
10
Another
minutes.
visually
8
shiny.
minutes. Yeah.
Visually shiny. You get that Ascandi greatsword. That's a visually shiny
Oh,
right
Ass
there.
Candy? We'll check out. Yeah, we'll check out Ass Candy.
Feel bad for all the orcs that have to use Cruel Shuruk for the next year.
What do you mean? Explain. Cool. What is it?
It's so ugly.
What is it called again?
Cruel Shuruk. It's the axe off Nefarian. It's a great axe.
Can
It's
I buy
really,
a?
really
Can
top
I buy
tier
a
for
spelling?
orc.
Spell it for me if you can.
CRUL''SH.
There we go.
Should pop up.
Cruel chaos. Nice. Let's see it. Doesn't
One
look
of the
bad.
top coolest spelling and reading.
You think this looks bad?
I think it's ugly. I don't know, man.
Chad, do you think this looks bad? This looks like from TBC. The enhancement shamans used to have this. It looked like that.
That's not bad at all, man.
Dude, this looks fire. I'd be happy to have this. Look at this.
That's just me, I guess.
It's your palette. It's your paladin sensibilities, man. It doesn't look.
Yeah,
very
that
noble.
doesn't look like a paladin weapon.
Dude, remember TBC with the enhancement shamans when they kind of slapped and they had like two things that look like this, summoning the feral spirits. Oh yeah. Cruel
big.
Shrock. 13 stam, dude. This looks like a slapper right here, dude. Unique.
It's not bad.
Okay, hit me with another one.
Another a good visual item.
Yeah, another good visual item. Beat away. Something sexy, dude.
Man, I'll switch it up actually. Just a purely cool visual item is Heart Striker off of
Heart Striker.
Brooklord. It's the
What
bow.
about Locomir? That's hot too.
Oh yeah, man. Heart
Yeah,
Hot
Striker.
caster
Locomir.
item.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Ooh, Heart Striker on a female Night Elf Hunter. Right.
It's a very unique look. It's very distinguished.
Getting these 2004 screenshots in here, dude. Fuzzy as fuck, but yeah, now it looks really cool. Yeah, Heart Striker. It's no cry. Oh, I gotta put
The
my personal favorite.
dragon hand cannon is another cool looking one.
I gotta push.
Maladin.
Yeah,
That's
that
really
one looks
gold
cool.
dragon
That one's
face.
pretty cool. Mission Dare is a really good looking one for sure.
This is my person as a hunter. This is my favy right here. Look
There's
at
a
this.
lot of good looking items in there,
Look at
man.
this slapper
yeah.
right here. Adradul, bro. Look at this. You use this all the way to KT. You don't even need KT. Honestly, you're done with the game. If you're a hunter and you get this bow, just G quit. You're good.
Why would you
This is
cheat
it.
code right when you can start using it?
True. You got us any recommendations for a normal streamer running BWL? Yeah, recommendations for a normal guild. I don't know.
Prepare, pace yourself,
there
and
and kill
focus on the
stuff.
fundamentals. I mean, that's gonna get you through.
Don't follow the way the speedrunners are doing it, because it's not how you'll do it.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. It's like that would be like trying to go and do like the sulfur on AoE strat in a normal guild.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna work.
I gotta
Or
look
like-
Ash Candy.
Or like fast Shazra. Even for normal guilds, fast Shaz can be difficult.
So you're telling me somebody could be wielding Ash Candy today?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone could be wielding Ash Candy probably within 40 minutes. Almost guaranteed within
You're
40
telling
minutes.
me in 20 minutes somebody could have an Ash Candy? That's what
Well,
you're
maybe
telling
not
me.
that quick, but
You're telling me in half an hour
Dude,
somebody
that's
could have an
sweet
Ash
looking.
Candy?
maybe. Absolutely, yeah.
Someone's gonna be walking around Classic WoW with this.
Also,
Somebody
I'll
might
tell
have
you
the
guys.
crossbow.
I'll tell you guys right when it drops because I'm in EPL logged in.
Yo, it kind of
spamming.
looks like Heart Striker.
Get
It kind
ancient.
of looks like you took a Heart Striker and bent it, and then put a string around it so it stayed really like tight, and then you put a sword on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
The
true,
hilt
yeah,
is
I like that,
the
yeah.
same
Reminiscent.
See
concept.
that?
Yeah. See
Ash
that.
Candy, 33 stamina.
It's a
Oh
nice
my
PvP
God,
weapon, no
bro.
doubt, man.
This is insane.
We got boys about 5 minutes.
Yeah, just
Minus
about
5?
5 minutes left.
What's another one? Let me think. Oh yeah, these items in here are hard to spell in BWO, man.
That is true.
There's like the Romeo Santos mace that has all the spell power on it. I'm just gonna start with an R.
Locomir.
Can I buy a Val? Rokamir?
Oh, you know what else looks
Locomir,
sweet, dude?
Locomir.
The claw. What's the freaking claw?
LOK apostrophe.
There we go. Lockamir right there. Hell yeah. It doesn't look that good though. But
Yeah,
this thing.
I mean, by the time you finally get a decent healer weapon, it's sort of like, thank God.
the Hand of Nefarious. This is a hunter weapon, right?
No.
This is a hunter
healer
weapon.
This is that's a hunter weapon. Come on now, spell power hunter. Nah, this looks. I mean,
Shout out to
look
my
how,
guy Alohas in the chat. He was one of my tanks. He was one of my tanks from private servers. He just sent me a PM on Twitch.
Nice, man. Shout out to the god. Look at this. The Hand of Nefarious. 84 damage in healing. Who's excited?
No, that's chump change. Don't healers. Quick tip: don't waste your DKP on Locomir. Do not.
Why
Go for
not?
Rejuve Gem instead. It's the
Rejuve
same
Gem?
equivalent. It's the same equivalent upgrade, and Rejuve Gem lasts you way longer.
But it's a weapon, though.
No. Trust me.
Maybe if you're a shadow priest, you'd want that one. That's pretty good.
Trust me, man.
84
Do not. Don't
damage
waste.
and
Don't.
healing?
We gave one of our first
Bro,
ones to Shadow
Kargoz, the Cthulhu Mace has 160 or 180 healing men.
Well, yeah, when they finally woke up and went, yeah, maybe we should give a pure plus healing weapon
gotta-
to these guys.
Mm.
You gotta save that DKP, boys. Trust me.
Well, here's the thing.
Not
with-
everybody's
okay,
gonna
so
get to
against
Cthulhu.
against you on that one.
That's true.
So Rejuve Gem is much better from
Rejuve
a
Gem.
rating perspective, but Locomir will be useful for healers who also want to PvP. That gives you both options.
This doesn't look as fun as the other thing, though, man. 9 MP5, 66.
I mean, if you're talking about equivalent upgrade, it's about the same for stat-weighted classes.
Yeah.
And Rejuve Gem, you pretty much never unequip it
For the rest of the game?
for the rest of the game. Yeah,
Yeah,
you could wear that. You could wear Rejuve. You probably will never unequip it as a
So-
healer.
Permanent
So once you
vest
get
is
this,
fine.
one of your slots is done for the rest of the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some people.
Well, that's the
have
same
an
thing
hour-
with
yeah.
DFT too. That's why people like DFT so much.
Well, DFT, maybe.
Well, that's why it should be prio to say like your ferals.
All right, here we go. So I'm watching some of the stream. The
minutes.
Grizzly guys all just logged in.
All right. Who should we start with first, chat? Let's hear it. Who do you want to start with? Whose POV you
I
want
mean,
to check
chat's gonna want to watch Apes. I already know that.
Yeah,
out?
they
Apes is the
I think
grad.
so.
Really
That was
excited
another
about
one on
apes.
the
It's up.
straw
Oh
poll
my
earlier.
god. The
It's up,
enchants.
it's up. No way.
The enchants are out. I just bought the enchants on my main.
No way, dude. No way. Okay, I'm going back to the.
Yep, they're up. I just bought the enchants. The patch is live.
Oh my Lanta.
Whoa.
It's happening. It's happening, boys. It's happening, boys. Blackwing Lair.
Here we go.
We're here. Who should we start
This
with
is
first,
it.
guys? Which POV? Lock, Onslaught. No one's actually in the dungeon yet. They're not showing it.
Just pick one.
Yeah, they're waiting until they're inside, of course.
All of them are still saying stuff soon and stuff. You know, they're probably not gonna reveal themselves on stream until they're inside, right? Like that would be stupid.
That would be the
Yeah, they
smart
do
thing to
not
do.
want to show where
No,
their
absolutely
position is
not.
until
See, like
they're
Laddie-
in WL.
So the streams that I have open, Laddie and my Taz, they have their streams hidden for us.
Yeah, stream's hidden, right? So we just have to like chill for a second,
Hey, if
wait for
if
him.
anybody needs enchants
big.
on Herod, I got you. Don't worry.
So you're telling me in 5 minutes somebody could have an Ashkandi?
So which
In
which
five
enchant?
5 minutes. That's hella record right there.
Wait a minute.
They skipped it. They just went straight to Neff.
Right?
So
Imagine.
is there any Thorium Brotherhood stuff that hasn't come out yet, or is it all out now?
No, there are a couple. I think. Oh wait, no. Thorium, no.
I ran
What
with
about
Lestor
the,
on private server. Such a cool dude. You got fans in the chat, Lestor.
Who
Who's
said
that?
that? Where is
AKA
it on YouTube?
Mad Max. 1,200 people in Twitch. 1,000. I mean, in YouTube. 1,000 people in Twitch. Dead game, by the way.
Dad game?
Dead game. Quissy hosting with another 100. You love to see it. Thank you very much,
Quissy.
Quissy.
She
Chrissy,
makes,
what's up?
Yo, she makes great guides.
She does, dude. She's from my neck of the woods. It was really nice meeting you the other day, Quissy. Thank you very much for the host. Welcome everybody in the chat. Let's get some hell yeahs in the chat. As Quissy
I mean,
said.
she's okay. She does play a paladin, though. Come on.
All the cool kids play paladins now.
Hordes are
Guess
hilarious.
I'm not the cool kid.
That's funny, man. So we have a live Salvador. We'll take a look at Salvador. He's still reviewing. Why does he look so? I mean, I don't like that.
Woo, spicy.
He's looking kind of cute today.
He's. I don't mean it like that. He's looking very collected, like he's chilling. Like BWL shit is coming out. He should be sweating bullets right now. He's going for the. He's going for the cup. Like,
They're in. Grizzly is inside right now. Grizzly
my
just
God.
zoned in.
Tell me, do you have a VADA for him or not? I mean,
You
do
know,
have a
we
POV?
didn't
It's
really have
A-
Grizzly on our list here.
AHMPY.
Oh, Ampy. You told me Ampy's inside.
Ampy is inside. They're about to pull the first ad.
Ampy's about to pull. Okay, I'm coming.
Here it goes.
Yeah, we really didn't have Grizzly on our list of potentials here.
Hold on,
It's
hold on.
interesting.
Yeah, Grizzly, dude. Is Grizzly gonna take it? North's in Grizzly. We get to watch North?
I think he should be in their main raid, I would assume.
Hold on. There's a Six Flags ad going on. Nobody wants to see that. Let me just wait for the ad to go down. Nobody wants to watch Six Flags ads. Just give me a second. Oh, brother. Are we actually living? Are we in BWL time now?
We are in BWO. There are guilds that are in /who, Blackwing. They're pulling. Yep, there's guilds in my server. Yep, they just pulled.
Wait,
Yep.
does he have Ashkandi yet?
They're doing it.
Yeah, they already got 5.
You got Ashkandi? Oh my god, they're in BWL. Okay, here we go, boys.
All right, so kind of like what we were talking about. You know, you're just
Just trying to get the show up ready, guys. Hang tight.
Yeah, we gotta actually get that
Here we go. Yep, it was loading a Six Flag ads. It was like the longest ad of my life.
Are we on?
We're on Ampy. This is our boy Ampy right here.
All right, so yeah.
A little bit.
As we were talking about, you're just gonna see pretty normal Razor Gore. You just want to pull as fast as you can and make sure that you do not lose any times while doing the ad or doing the eggs.
Look at this, boys. We're in BWO. This is classic BWO.
Yeah, so they're kind of just. It seems like they're keeping up really well paced. Like that dragon died very quickly, so would not be surprised if they just kept this pace for the entire run.
Do they have all the world buffs that we were expecting here?
Oh. Well, I guess
It looks
Laddie.
like they're kind of they're using 4 corners, or they just spread out. It looks like they're all over the place.
They're more spread. It looks like they're collapsing extra melee for dragons.
Early
Yeah,
reports saying progress wiped outside.
What?
Oh,
No, confirmed. Someone confirmed this. This is
Oh,
hearsay.
that
This
would
is
be
hearsay.
crazy
I
if they
clicked
won.
This is
on-
hearsay, dude. Someone confirm it, man. Screenshot.
Boom.
All right, we gotta wait. We gotta wait for confirmation on that one.
Is this it lagging? Let me change the
Oh.
source.
So let's see. So we
I
got,
click on Laddie's stream and it's his mage running back and he's dead. I don't know if he was in their main group or not. Maita's Apes still has not started their main stream. Let me go try to find it. If anyone has info on another ape.
I'm getting some
Yeah,
DMs
more
right
sand.
now. Progress white.
Progress has got wiped.
Progress white. Who got him, dude?
oh my
Damn.
god. Well, there goes our guesses.
Down, dude. That was. So it's over, right? If you get wiped
they're
right
out,
now,
no,
it's
At
over.
this point,
like it's
I would
absolutely
say,
out.
especially because you got no world buffs. Yeah, like you're not even wiping halfway through your dungeon. You're done.
they're logging out right now, pretty much.
I would be. Yeah.
They're logging out.
No, I'd still go for it. I
No,
mean,
you still go.
Go for it. Yeah.
You're
but
gonna
no,
be
I mean,
so triggered though. Is it even wolf?
No, you gotta keep
Oh.
it. You gotta keep it playing. That's it.
Really? So you would keep going? Yeah.
But so it looks like
Mark says
Grizzly's
he's got
got a
recorded. Damn.
pretty
My
decent
Taz,
comp, though.
my Taz from Apes in his chat just says, "We are out of the race," quote unquote. Apes is already conceded.
No.
They can't get to the orb.
No
They can't-
way.
they can't get
Apes?
inside.
Apes, yeah, quote unquote from my Taz from his stream. We're out of the race.
No way, bro. Hold on.
So
let me
Apes
find-
got wiped outside of their
What's his
orb.
name? Mai Tai? Like the drink?
My Taz, Maitoz. He is their guild master.
Wow.
Let me
Okay.
see,
Well.
let me see.
So right
Ripped
now,
Apes.
I mean, the only people that we see flying right now are Grizzly. Salad.
Jeez, that'd be
I haven't
crazy
seen
if
any
Grizzly
from
got it
Salad
because
Grizzly
they were
yet.
not.
And their
Definitely
alliance,
expecting.
dude. Like they weren't, you know,
Okay.
Grizzly. Could we see a Grizzly world first? Any Grizzly
That
fans
would
in the
Wow.
house?
be-
There is a few more guilds. You know, you got to watch out for. There's a Horde guild on my server. I know going for very first, and the mountain
Yeah,
was
there's-
controlled by
there's
Horde.
still
They
gonna
have
be
one of the
plenty
top
of people
10
that are going to be
times.
pushing this here. So
Onslaught in? Onslaught made it in. Let's go scare him. Come on, Onslaught. Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
let's do it.
Please, Onslaught. I got my hat in the ring for Onslaught, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna try to go through. I'll close my Taz's stream. Let's see if we can find another
Wow.
one.
Yeah, try and find me a nice Onslaught pop too. So we know Grizzly got in.
Grizzly is in. They are actually. It looks like they're about 20 out of done with the eggs. So we're gonna see the first Razor Gore. You're gonna see all. And if you do look at their comp, you are gonna notice pretty balanced comp. Surprisingly,
Yeah.
they did opt
they got
for
quite a few mages and
a handful of
warlocks
mages
there.
and warlocks. You'll see all their
Three
melee
hunters, looks
popping
like.
faps when Razor Gore is pulled.
Should we finish
And-
off this Razor Gore kill real quick, and then we go to Onslaught probably, right?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
we'll
sure,
check
yeah.
on other streams
Let's do
after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Salvador, they're in. I'm watching on another monitor right now. God, this is actually kind of more fun than I thought, dude. This is sick.
It looks like Salad Bakers has conceded as well.
Really? Did they
Yeah.
not do the? I wonder. We don't really know how Grizzly got in. If they did the Ubers.
They just had control of the mountain. I was watching.
Oh.
The Alliance had control of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. They just
That'll do it. Yeah.
Proof that was going to be a major factor. It's not how fast you can kill BWL, but just
So-
get in.
Apes, Salad Bakers, Progress, all out essentially, as far as I can tell.
Wow. I didn't
go
expect that
through.
many people to get hit with mountain
Yeah.
contests. Like I thought there'd be more people making it in without trouble.
Yeah, Apes is.
Apes is a try-hard guild, man. You know they think about these things. This is not their first rodeo, dude. This is like their, 10th rodeo or something? You
All
telling
of
me-
them know what
Mhm.
they need to do to get this in. Yeah, so it's
So
not surprising.
progress in apes. This is honestly why classic world first is kind of hyped compared to retail. This isn't a thing on retail WoW, right? Like you everyone just kind of gets in fair, like you know.
All right, so we're coming up on the first Razor Gore attacks. This is their last egg here now. So yeah, you can see none of them are opting to hide.
They're just gonna bum rush him.
Yeah, they're just gonna pop faps and go for full DPS on the boss.
I should have aimed shot
Here we
before. I
go.
don't think I
Grizzly
might have-
looking
I wasn't
really strong. No deaths or anything. So there goes. So the aggro did go on to whoever had the orb.
Okay.
Look at that guild. Not
And-
even hesitating. Loot dropped. Everyone's just moving. Who cares, dude? Who
Yeah,
cares?
no.
Just deal with the loot. Let's go.
Re-enabling details. Here we go.
All right, let's go
There
check
we
out.
go.
Let's go check out Salvador.
Yeah, and that's Razor Gore down. Yeah. So they're just gonna pretty much go. Oh no, they have decided to kill the techs. That's interesting.
Hold up,
Gotta get that Elementi more, baby.
Yeah, Elementi more and the extra sands. If we have info on any other
Because
streams.
this was a Delta ends up pulling.
Oh no, is it another Six Flag ad? You hate to see it. No, it's not. But this is Onslaught right here. Salvador, big pumper.
Yeah, they're still in the fight.
No, they're absolutely just still in it. You know, there's gonna be a few guilds here up in the front.
Grizzly World First? That would be insane. I don't think they ever got a World First or anything before.
They've pushed for private server stuff, but not world server.
Why is this not working? Solve Dolly. There it is. There it is. Oh yeah. Okay, so they're behind. Grizzly's ahead of this, unless there's a
They're
delay.
behind a little bit, yeah.
He might,
It's
yeah, he might be
likely
running a
heavy
delay
It
too.
might be a delay, 5 minutes. Well, why would
Yeah,
there be a
it could
delay though once you're
delay.
inside? It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, you started that way. Plus, he could
Stream
throw
delay.
other contenders off.
Wait, what's going on with Grizzly right now? Why are they? They're running out.
Razor
What's
Gore
going
ads
on?
bugging and spam spawning in Grizzly
Oh
raid.
no, the Razor Gore ads are still spawning after.
Oh no.
Oh, this is big. This literally changes everything. Grizzly just had the full reset. Everyone zoned out.
No.
That's awful.
Oh.
No way.
Yeah, they full reset.
Yikes.
They were fighting the Veil Goblin ads, and they just had to reset all the way up.
So you're telling me my boys Onslaught are in the
Oh
lead
my
potentially right now? That's what you're telling me.
Well, we're gonna have to see if they have
let's
the
see what
same
happens when they
problem.
zone in.
If they don't have the bugging ads, then they'll be okay. But if they do, then they're gonna have major issues.
Okay, so let's just we'll hang in there and see if they deal with it. Because it looked like they were already leaving the room. They looked like they were fine. Anyway, so here we go. Look at this big warrior pumper. Orc, zug zug, full zug zug.
He's so somber, man. He's just like focused in the zone.
He's got the beater
Yeah.
on, dude. He's chilling. High T level.
He's not even sweaty. No.
His heart
They're so
rate isn't
focused.
going above 80.
So it looks like they just went to zone out again.
Oh my god, they had to reset twice?
Yeah,
That
so
feels
the
bad.
ads are not resetting correctly at all.
Oh man. That'd be a
Calamities
disaster
on
for
Veil?
this
Guys, go spread your internet hive mind feelers out. Who do you guys think is in the lead right now? I have a couple tabs open. I have Onslaught, Progress.
I'm checking Calamity.
Check Calamity.
Yeah, I'm loading his stream right now.
What about live?
Looks like Grizzly is not zoning back in.
Let me see.
They're
live.
waiting to get confirmation of the inside. Oh, I clicked on this is not the Calamity that I thought.
Progress is on Veil. Veil's dead?
Progress back in the race? Question mark?
Somebody just posted it in
No,
That's
I
why
wouldn't.
you don't give up, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
yeah,
with this
it's-
bug, Grizzly might be in trouble here.
the buffs
Onslaught's-
might not be as much a factor.
Onslaught,
Yeah.
Onslaught. I'm seeing a lot of Onslaught in the chat.
Unless someone's
Calamity,
again, if they're running on delay,
Calamity
they could
is
already
on the
finish.
trash after Veil. There's a link in Twitch chat, Kargoz, for Exy, EXCY underscore.
Hold on. Just take a look at the Onslaught right now. Are
See
they
if,
fine?
Onslaught. See if
It seems like
they.
they're fine.
Well, they just killed Razor Gore, but let's see. It doesn't
Yep,
seem
Razor
like
Gore
they've
is
got
dead.
ads.
Look at them just
So
roll
they might-
those freaking. Oh.
So
man.
Grizzly went back in. It looks like they're about to pull Veil, and we see Calamity working on the ads after Veil, no issue. From the stream EXCY underscore.
Calamity is not skipping trash. They won't win the race.
I mean, they're currently, as far as we know, this is the furthest we've seen anybody.
Dude, let's get.
Grizzly is
What's the
pulling
POV of
Veil.
Calamity? What's the POV of Calamity?
EXCY underscore.
EXY.
Underscore. Yeah. They are choosing. I do want to,
I dropped it in the chat.
CY? EXCY, right?
EXCY underscore. Yeah. their viewership is just shooting up. It went from like 60 to 80 to 100 plus
Sick.
already.
Oh man. Looks like they're further ahead, huh?
Yeah, they are on the trash. Grizzly is pulling Veil right now as we speak, though. on
Onslaught's
screen.
having the same issues as Def Camp and Melderon in the chat. Is that with the spawn, Steph?
God, they're just destroying these mobs. Rogues at the top
Yeah.
of the damage meter too.
Yeah,
on the
those
trash.
blade flurries are no
Golly.
joke.
This stuff's
Golly.
melting, man. They're pushing.
Please, let's see their world buffs. Let's observe their world buffs. Are they missing anything?
No, they have DMF, they have War Chiefs. Well, these are Horde players, but they have essentially everything. They opted.
What about the Valentine's Day shit though?
So
See that?
Yeah.
I see it-
Onslaught
I see
has
it on
Onslaught
this,
has
Calamity.
respawners too, so they are dealing with three respawners.
Onslaught got the same bug? No, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Is that
Yep.
true?
They did.
Yes,
Oh my
I'm seeing it.
God. So Calamity is in the lead right now. It looks like by like kind of.
Yeah, they are moving up to the suppression room
They're
right
up
now.
top clearing.
So they're just good. They might be getting it just simply because they don't have the bug that everybody else is dealing with.
Look how much damage this guy is doing, dude. This is disgusting.
Yeah, so they're starting
Wow.
to pull. I just want to pretty normal looking pull, and in the... Yeah, that looked like a pretty normal poll. They are deciding to sheep. They're not going absolutely full speedrun strategies, but they are playing very quickly.
Where's the you think there's gonna be any trash skip after this?
I don't think they're going to opt for a
Impossible to
trash
know.
skip here.
Yeah,
It
we're
doesn't
just
look
gonna have to
like they would have
see.
already been setting up for it.
Okay. I like this dude's UI, dude. Very clean. All the action bars hidden because he has them all memorized, dude. This is like big pumper.
Yeah, I have. That's like the new hotness is that kind of look
everything.
UI as little as possible.
Yeah.
I don't like where his health bars are, though. It bugs me right in the middle of the screen, but...
It's pretty high up, yeah.
Yeah, if you
like, I dropped them down about an inch or two, but I
Yep,
guess he
yep.
likes it right at his feet, because you're seeing all your
Right.
bars, and you're seeing your cooldowns, and availabilities
there,
and stuff
yeah.
like that, so... It looks like they're just pulling and going, like they're not even...
Yeah, they're not really pulling the whelps back or anything.
They're just murking everything. They're just staying in combat and killing what they gotta kill. Probably telling them to drink when you can.
Skarma's about to zone out. Is Skarma's having the same issue?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough.
A lot of people having this, the ads issue on Razorgore, man. Look
Yeah,
at this.
That could be-
Razorgore, their onslaught's coming back in and they're still killing stuff, so I don't know if they're... I don't know. if
That
they're
bug
gonna-
could be the deciding factor here. I mean, you got groups
Yeah, that's a major
through
problem.
suppression almost.
So there's a big sapper pull. They just went for a very large AOE.
That was a huge pull, yeah. Guys, chat, hive mind chat. We need to deploy you out on a mission. Look at every single guild out there right now. Try to find someone who's ahead of Calamity right now. I can't find one. So Onslaught's behind them. They're moving up the Vale right now in Salvador Dali. Lati. So this is Salad Baker. Salad Baker's is in the Vale room as well. I can't find anyone ahead of Calamity right now. Please
Yeah,
try
looks
to
like
find
they're-
some though. Calamity looking like it's in the lead right now.
Calamity is looking really strong. They just pulled the first ads of the second level.
If they can hold this position, they're going to get it, it seems. But there's still a lot of ground left between here and the
Yeah,
ferry.
there's plenty
you know
of
what I
question
mean?
marks. You still got the
Yeah,
Chromag
everything
question of
seems
how
to
they're going
fall
to get the dust for Chromag. That's going to be a big one.
Apes is catching up quick.
Is Apes trying to also get back in the race? Let me go find if Mytos has a stream. There's a few stream links in Twitch chat. I'm just kind of checking through these and also trying to keep an eye on Calamity.
Why don't you guys stick the different Twitch URLs in the chat here so we can all get them?
I still can't find anyone ahead of Calamity right now. Let me try,
Oh, we got somebody else in the suppression room here.
Oh,
saying-
Progress is making their way through the suppression room.
Wow.
Wow. It looks like not everyone in Progress lost their world buffs. And they're definitely still in it. They probably just had to wait a little bit and they did not get
what's
the
the POV
buff.
of Progress?
I'm gonna link it in the Discord
Yeah, link it in the
chat.
Discord, yeah.
This is Progress. That's Tetsu. He's actually an incredible player.
Okay. Let's take it out. Check it out. So Progress is EU or NA?
They're EU. They are
EU.
one of the arguably top guilds from private servers.
So both.
They won most of the server first on a lot of the private servers they played, and
So-
they're, I would argue, catching up.
So both the front runners are EU then.
Yep, absolutely. Something I probably could have told you.
NA, where you at, NA? Onslaught.
NA Omega Law.
Onslaught.
Where you at, Onslaught?
Yeah, Calamity's at just a hair above in front of Progress based on what we're seeing. If these are both live feeds, because they're about to pull, they're pulling Broodlord right now. Calamity
Progress is halfway
Yeah,
through. The
Progress
run.
is catching up real quick.
They are right there. They're like what?
Whoa! Who is this? There's another. Hold on. I gotta turn my quality up. I have a stream with 2 viewers of a guild named RTK that's already halfway through the suppression room. Also,
Okay. Sleeper Cell Guild?
just linked. It's a guild called RTK, and they're halfway through the suppression room. Also,
What's the... Okay, the guild's called RTK. Hopefully NA, bro. Let's see.
Yeah, we might not really even have an answer for who's going to be world first, because it might be awful tight with all these other guilds. It's really wide open.
Oh no, 6 Flags at everyone's not gonna count much.
Somebody is saying Rise is pulling Broodlord
Get an
as
ad
well.
blocker, man.
I'm
So
not like
Rise
that.
is
It's the
definitely up there.
incognito tab. Maybe you see it.
Sucks.
Calamity's got Broodlord at about 30%, 20%.
We're sponsored by this Vape Nation looking ad.
Broodlord is down by Calamity now.
Wow.
Okay, here's I'm Alive. This is a Warlock POV. We'll look at this for a second. They're in the suppression room. This is Progress. Oh, this is Progress.
Progress is close to pulling Broodlord, looks like.
Yep, they're catching up
Yeah,
now.
they're right there.
Yeah,
They're
and
right there.
This is
They're
when it's
probably going
gonna
to surpass
be nasty.
Calamity at this rate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
the
they're
rate that
going
they're
to with
pulling,
the
they're
trash
catching back
packs.
up.
It's going to be if they don't die on the trash packs, they're looking pretty good at this point.
Yeah, like we were saying before, the trash after Fire Maw is going to be one of the huge factors.
Yes, major factor.
Calamity just killed Broodlord, so they're ahead of Progress right now.
Yes.
Yeah, but Progress is pulling right. They just pulled them.
But there's a lot with the trash packs that if you do it wrong, that's an instant wipe, just flat out.
Pretty sure that's
Yeah, we'll watch
You could-
Calamity
you could pay
here.
the
They
price
do
here.
seem to be furthest in the lead. I heard Rise is also, they also have already killed Broodlord apparently. But I don't have a Rise stream.
Rise are ahead of Calamity? Oh my god, the
Possibly,
tension is
possibly.
rising, man. There's about 3-4
this-
people all neck and neck right now.
This RTK guild is still only halfway through suppression.
Yeah, they have definitely slowed down. They probably just, yeah,
they
they're
might not have got
definitely
the
playing
bugs. It's part of,
safer.
part of the reason why.
Yeah, they probably didn't, and they've just been playing it a little bit safer. But you have
Alright, so take a look at Progress right now. See where they're at
Progress
right now.
is
So
halfway
Broodlord's
through.
about to die right now, right? Broodlord's about to die. We're gonna go over to Yikes 750 from Rise. Let's check out Yikes 750. 7050.
Looks like
Broodlord
Onslaught
is
having
hitting
issues.
like a truck, though, is what I'm noticing. I know these guys are wearing threat gear, but he is hitting pretty hard.
That's good.
So much Alliance, man.
5,300 Mortal Strike right there.
Ouch.
So that's
Very,
substantially,
very blast for that.
substantially harder than private servers? I mean,
That's
No,
about
no,
private
just-
server
it's
level.
just- he just hits hard.
Yeah, that's like his thing.
Onslaught fucking up? No, you hate to see it. Is it true?
Yeah, Onslaught is really having issues here.
Oh no.
And it also does look like Grizzlies is out of it. They just opted to do very slow strats on the post-veil trash, and after their bug, they just seem to be out of it.
Does anyone see where Apes is at right now?
Progress is catching back up. Calamity is looking good. It looks like they're almost ready to pull. Or they did just pull the triple pack up there, or the quadruple Dragonkin pack.
EU Guild on Chromagus.
What? No, that's
What?
fake. That's fake.
No
There's
way.
no way.
No way.
Apes
If
on
somebody
Brood
has a
Guards,
link-
just pulled Brood.
Storm, shout
Storm
out
on
Herod. I actually almost mentioned Storm at this when we started this, but I didn't think they would be streaming. They're usually very secretive with their streams. Storm is on my
Apes
server. They're
just killed
killing
Broodlord?
Chromag. They're killing
but
Broodlord.
Calamity
right
already
now.
killed Broodlord though, right? I still think Calamity.
Yeah,
is ahead, right?
Calamity's on the. I think the lead still.
They're on
Yeah,
like the-
Calamity is iron strongest. There are 2 or 3 trash pulls after Broodlord.
I'm thinking that unless somebody makes some substantial.
Yeah, they're
strides
on.
here, they're on the lead, but they're
Calamity's
catching up.
already on those larger dragons.
Is
Yeah, they're-
Lady
Calamity's
Calamity?
getting ready to.
Who's the
to
Calamity?
pull,
dude? I gotta go back to Calamity. Calamity was, I think it's
EXCY XC.
EX.
Yeah, they pulled Fireball. They just pulled Fireball.
Yeah, they're pretty far here. They are ahead of Progress.
Storm has Broodlord down. Rest in peace,
Oh,
my.
Fireball. Let's see how they do the dragons, bro. Okay, so
Oh yeah,
Fireball.
Firemaw is coming up for Calamity.
Try to
Just
notice
keep-
any big break.
Rise is on Firemaw
Calamity
as
and
well. If we
Progress
can get
are
a,
both on
if anyone has a
Rise.
stream for Rise, somebody linked and said this guy is on Firemaw. Let me check.
And put it in chat.
Yeah, it's loading right now. I'm checking if it's real.
That's some
Progress
some
is
people
on
died.
Firemaw.
Yeah, they're both on Firemaw right now.
Yeah.
A couple dudes
Oh,
down
yeah,
on
this is
Firemaw
the
though,
Progress.
dude. We lost some
That'll-
buffs
Oh,
there.
wait, no, this is
That
the-
will happen. That will happen.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is the Rise stream. Yeah.
As I said, Firemaw is really the one that starts really ramping up the challenge for stuff. if your tanks didn't die on Broodlord, then stuff starts dying on Firemaw.
Those are some of the first deaths I've seen. So, there it is.
Yeah, Firemaw, the damage, it does seem to be really significant. The flame buffets are hitting appropriately hard.
There's no way Apes is ahead of this, man.
Not if they don't wipe.
Firemaw down for Rise. Firemaw down for Calamity, too. So it looks like the
Yeah,
front
it
runners
is.
are Rise and Calamity. Let's just get that straight. Rise and Calamity.
And
right?
Progress.
Progress is behind. Progress
right
is a couple
there, too.
minutes behind, right? They were still in.
Progress is
minutes?
in
No,
the middle of
Firemaw's
Firemaw.
just died.
Firemaw's
Progress.
at like 30% for them. It's almost dead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
So they're all
Progress,
neck and neck
Rise,
right
and
now.
Calamity. Where's
Calamity
NA
are the
at,
ones.
though? Where's NA? NA
Where's
Raiders?
Calamity?
Calamity's.
Hey, where if you guys have
Moving.
Rise, put a link to the chat so I can keep track.
I have Rise here,
Yeah,
I'm
but-
linking.
Like to see
Bro,
that one.
where's my NA gamers at?
Just link to Rise.
Thanks.
Okay, yikes, 70-50.
I don't think I've ever had this many freaking streams open on my PC.
Yeah, I know,
at a
rest in
time.
peace,
Like,
my
this is
bandwidth.
kind of awesome,
Yeah, no doubt.
but really cool at the same time.
I'm also trying to do like enchants at the same time. All the new enchants are out. Yeah, definitely, this is definitely.
Yeah,
worth
the
it.
So right now, we're at
Somebody is
25
saying-
minutes, right? We're at 25 minutes.
Somebody is saying Apes
Calamity's,
is catching up.
they're ahead right now.
Calamity is looking
yeah, they're
in the
still
lead
ahead. They're
though.
up the ramp already. Yeah.
So
I mean,
we're already
Calamity,
slower
all-
than the world record, though, right? We're 25 minutes in.
Oh
Right, so
yeah, definitely.
You were predicting, what were you predicting, guys? Make some predictions. When does
I
Neff
I
die?
said 30 to 40.
Like
30 to
30 to
45.
I need it by the minute, dude. I'm gonna to give something away or do something.
37 minutes is what I'm saying.
Put your predictions in
Damn
when
it,
Neff
that's what I
dies,
was gonna
guys. When Neff dies.
I'll take 38 minutes. No, maybe I'll take
3:37.
36.
I want it down to the millisecond. No.
There goes. All right, they're doing really good pulls. It still does look like Calamity is ahead, but Progress is now
They're
caught
neck
up
and
to
neck.
the same pack
Really
they
neck
are.
and neck, yeah. So they might have
Oh
to
my
do
god,
it.
they are. Progress
They might
is
have to
pulling
do
it.
a double dragon just to stay in the
Yeah, this
contention here.
could be like
tight.
the determining
Do
factor
you think
here.
they have scouts in the guild that are trying, if they're going for world first, looking at all the other raids too?
Oh,
And-
I would bet, yeah.
You think they're adjusting the strategy as they go? Like, yo, we gotta go Zug Zug, we gotta catch up.
If they aren't, I think they're not being smart. If they're pushing.
Yeah, they
solo
have
for
to.
the
This
first.
is way too tight to
Onslaught,
just hope
if you
for
guys
the
are
best.
listening, Onslaught, go full Zug Zug. I believe in you guys. Pull all the dragons, dude. Do
For the
something
horde,
crazy.
baby, let's go!
Let's go, Onslaught. Do it for
Get up
NA,
the line,
Onslaught.
get
You
it.
gotta catch up, man. Do it for NA and
So
the
we're
horde.
just,
Get sweaty!
So we're definitely just
Big
watching
D.
to see kind of who reaches the Drake bosses next. There's still 4 trash pulls where Calamity and Progress is, but Progress
Lot
is
of trash.
already pulling faster.
Yeah, they're
They're opting
it's
for a
tight.
different pull order.
really
it looks
tight.
like Calamity's gonna try to. Oh no! Calamity is
Skip
one
over.
pack ahead. Calamity is one.
Yeah,
pack
they're
ahead.
one pack ahead. Yeah, they're just.
But it's the rate they're
Awful.
gaining on them. I don't know. Progress is
Yeah, I'm feeling good
Progress
on
has
Progress
definitely
still.
been
Like,
gaining
I
on
think they're gonna. I think they're gonna be pulling ahead here at some point. It's all
In
about
terms of
Chromatic.
boss damage, Progress will definitely be one of the top guilds in the world on that. So the raw
Yeah.
kill speed time on bosses is going to be a big time save, especially into big loot pinatas like the
And
Drakes.
Mm-hmm.
breasts are gonna be either the next. I think the next big thing is just gonna be see whether we get a double pool or if we what breasts we're getting on Chromag the next.
Yeah,
huge
Chromag
thing.
is
Yep.
Chromag and Nefarian more than ever now are
They're
just
gonna
as
be critical.
important.
Really critical.
It looks like
They are neck and neck right
yeah,
now.
they're on
They're
the
really catching up.
they're
Rise
literally
is
on the
still
exact
about a
same
pack
stairs, dude.
behind.
Yeah,
I'm
this
looking
is
at
there's
Yikes
like
stream. Yeah.
that's Yikes is Rise. Is that right?
Yes. Yikes is Rise.
They're standing in identical positions pretty much.
It
Calamity
is
like
it
5
is
seconds
neck
ahead.
Really?
and neck.
Really close right now.
But that means these guys they're moving at a faster pace here because they had to
Kargoz,
catch
you're
up.
just like switching
Somebody's
back
saying
and
that
forth.
Apes is already coming up in stuff here.
Let me go try to find an Apes stream then. Apes started 12 minutes after and it's 1 pack behind.
Yeah.
Apes is delayed stream.
Yeah, put a link in chat for Apes.
Yeah,
It's getting tight.
Calamity is ahead, man.
He's saying Monkey News is okay. So Monkey News is live.
Calamity
Let me,
is pulling the 3 Death Talons before the double Drakes.
Yeah, they are about 1 pack ahead right now.
Wow.
Yeah, there's still 1 pack ahead. It's awful tight.
Where's Moo at?
Let me see.
Yeah, I'm loading Monkey News' stream. My bandwidth is.
No, his shit is down, bro. It keeps saying it's unavailable for me. For you too.
Check my TAWs then. No, I have Monkey News live. Yeah, they are on the packs. No world buffs, but those extra rank 14 weapons
this guy
are
Calamity's
really pushing
getting
it.
live updates in his chat. They're like, yo, some alliance guild called Rise is close to you. Progress and Apes also. And Apes and
A
Rise,
lot of the big
they're like
names,
7
and
minutes
then
behind.
and then Calamity, a guild we did not talk about as much, really coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah,
Calamity
Rise-
is ahead of
Rise
his
is buff.
That's a sleeper group there.
Apes is still in the game, though, man. Apes is still in the game.
Yeah,
We're not at
absolutely.
Chromag and Neff yet. Okay, so Apes is probably, what, 5 minutes behind? Like, they're still clearing the trash prior to the three Drake Talons. And Calamity's done with the whole room.
They're pulling.
Calamity
they're getting ready
is
to pull
just
here.
finishing the room right now. It's oof.
Calamity is probably about to
They're
pull
screaming
some
close and
bosses
getting
here
it.
soon.
Yep.
Yeah,
Let's
they're
see if-
moving up. They're moving up.
Progress, Rise.
Progress is really
on the
close.
triple Drake pack as well.
Yo, let's
Alright,
see if they do both
they're gonna
dragons.
do a double Drake here. Let's see.
I really think somebody could pull ahead here.
Yeah.
If they go big for that move, they could do.
It could be.
I
a
didn't
real
think it was going to be
jump.
that close.
This is much closer than I anticipated.
Really close.
And
It
this
really
could
is.
all be changed with stream delays as well.
Yo, remember what you were saying, though, man? If we get the class calls and the Chromag roll, dude, like,
Yeah, the
that
next
could
one-
do
the
it.
next one-
This could be anything.
Calamity's going
It
for
could be-
1. It looks like.
Alright, yeah,
Right, that
Calamity
looks like
is
one.
pulling
Okay.
1. They're just
Alright.
doing Ebon Rock right now.
Maybe because
Okay.
they know they're in the lead. Maybe they don't want to risk it on the
Progress
biscuit like
is
that.
gonna pull here probably.
Let's see.
Yeah,
what they're
Progress is about. Oh, the Drake got distracted. The Drake is distractable. That's excellent to know. All right, they just pulled, and
was
I
good
will
work,
not lie.
Progress.
I
They're
think
not
with
going double.
Progress's raid DPS, they're gonna catch up mid-fight here.
Wait, no way, dude.
Evan Rock's at 60% for Calamity.
Who's the what's the progress stream again? What is that one?
Tetsue.
Tetsuhihi?
Yeah,
Coconut? Or, yeah.
Which Tetsuhihi?
they are
50%.
Ebon Rock
and
is
70%.
getting burned down.
Boy.
So
It's
neither
close.
of these groups went for a double Drake pull.
No,
Neither went
Calamity's
safe.
Calamity's ahead, bro. So Ebon Rock right now
They're
for
still ahead, but barely.
They're about by 40%
50%
left.
to
on it.
0.
they're
Yeah.
about 2 minutes ahead,
is
man.
murking Ebon Rock. Like, they are melting him.
Oh yeah, they're catching up, man.
Yeah,
let's
it's
pull
not
up
2
progress.
minutes, man.
Let's pull up progress right now. Honestly,
They are
they're actually catching
melting
up. You're
him.
right. You're actually right.
They're really close.
So
Okay,
Rise,
Ebon Rock's at like
Rise is actually
10%.
falling quite far behind. They still
yeah,
haven't.
Rise is a lot slower now.
You're actually right, dude. Progress. The DPS coming out of progress.
Okay,
is
that-
really
Oh,
good.
Ebon
Yeah,
Rock's
as I
a
said, the
big
DPS
Progress
on
is
Progress
just
is just going to
going
be
for fire.
world class.
Oh man,
That is crazy, dude.
Flame Gore's at 75% now.
Progress
and
is
now they just
actually
pulled, so
catching
they're
up
only
because
25%
and look,
off
Progress-
at this.
Progress played
They get-
really smart. They're going to save a few
They're
seconds
half
here,
a boss
just like-
behind. Like, dude,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Classic-
so they already
pulling them
moving forward, so they're just a couple of seconds for the running here because they're already up in position.
This is crazy, crazy, guys.
Oh my
So
God,
Flame
it's-
Door's almost down here.
But somebody is saying Apes is pumping hard. Apes is absolutely catching up, but I still think they're just a little bit too far behind at this point. So they got
Where's
wiped
Apes at
outside.
this point?
Yeah, it really just looks like. It really just
Okay.
looks like Calamity.
Calamity's
Look,
got.
see, Progress is.
They're on the
Flame
Drake
down
or the
for
Death
Calamity.
Towns before Chromag.
Flame Gore is almost down for Progress. 10%. They're catching up purely on boss DPS. Flame Gore is down. Progress and Calamity are now tied.
Progress looks like it has better damage though than Calamity. Like you
Yeah,
said.
absolutely.
Yeah, they do.
Who's your money on, guys? Progress or Calamity?
Right now, it depends. I don't think you'd call it Chromag. If they get hung up,
I think
that's
Progress
the
is going
factor.
to come out ahead. I think they're going to come ahead, but it's going to be a tight one.
I do think Apes is just a little bit too far
Calamity's in
behind
good
here.
Yeah, at this point, it's a long way. They're going to have to hope for a miracle. Where are Apes at this point?
Apes were just pulling Ebon Rock.
Oh yeah, it's
Now the other thing too is who's gonna. How are they gonna do their prep for Chromag? Are they gonna do a
Yeah,
distribution of
that's
sand?
the
Are they
question.
gonna? We're gonna see
What's
a minute
gonna
here,
happen
or
with
what's?
Also, I do want to point out on Progress's Steam Tetsu, he has the Omen buff still. as I mentioned. He has every single world buff available right now.
Every buff possible, yep.
3 minutes on one of them though.
Yeah, so Progress is about to get ready to go pull Chromag.
Yep.
Looks like they're just going straight into the pull.
Looks like they're actually tied now. Are they tied?
They're almost
Virtually
exactly tied.
Yeah. Oh man, I think Progress is gonna pull ahead here unless something happens. And of course, you know, if they get different breaths, then that is going to be a bit of a difference. So Chromag's going to be a big one here.
Yeah, this is really one of the deciding factors.
Now for Calamity.
But they're about to pull at the same time too. So this could be the difference maker right here.
Yeah, this is like identical pulls.
All right, let's see here.
This is really.
It did look like Calamity got it out a couple seconds earlier, but again, the raid damage and just the overall.
Explain the RNG with Chromagus for the stream right now.
There's a variety of different breaths that you can get, and it varies on which one. It gets randomized, I guess, of what you're going to get. You can get, there's an acid breath that reduces, the armor of the people that it hits. There's a flame breath that just does a raw fire damage.
Okay, well, you know what? Apes just pulled at the same time here, so they are right in it.
As Chromag?
Apes catching up?
Yeah, everybody just hit Chromag at exactly the same time here.
Wow. Dude, this is a freaking nail biter.
This is
we have
like everybody
raids
started
all
Chromag about the
fighting
same time.
Chromag.
We've got about 84% Chromag for Calamity, 83%, and where's like 90% for Apes. So it is tight. I don't know. I haven't seen any breaths yet, so I don't know which ones are which.
So right now I'm looking at live logs from Warcraft logs. It looks like it's loading right now because this is going to be. Oh no, these are not all the way updated. Never mind.
Okay, Chromag is at 50% with Apes now.
Chromag's at
48.
It's at 66%.
Apes really pushed him.
Apes pushing
Really
ahead?
pushed
You're
him.
telling me Apes is in the lead right now?
Yes.
Oh my god, dude.
I mean, they're
coming
like
from
neck and
behind.
neck with Calamity right now. Calamity
Are
and
they gonna
Apes
get
are
double
virtually
world
identical.
first, bro?
Oh my god.
Hold on. The rank 14 gear making big plays? It might be, dude.
Yeah, I can't see the percent, but it looks like Chromag is under 30 now. Yeah, they're ahead of Calamity right now.
Let's see, dude. Here it
They
is.
are
Here it
ahead
is.
of Calamity.
Get that one up there. Who are we watching for Apes?
This is Monkey News, dude. This
Monkey
is Big
News?
Monkey News, one of the
Big
crowd
Monkey.
favorites. The big
Oh
slapper
my
himself,
God.
dude. The rank 14.
They got executes
Ooh,
going. Progress is just about to hit
Okay,
execute
Progress is the
phase.
slowest right now so far. Progress is at 50% Chromag. Everybody else is ahead of them now.
Progress on my
Chromag-
stream 29%.
Chromag is almost down for Apes. Almost down. Yep, Apes is ahead.
Calamity just down
Apes is
for
ahead.
Chromag as well.
Dude,
Calamity's-
wow.
Yeah, Apes is ahead.
Holy shit.
Oh
Apes
my
is
God.
pulling ahead. After
Make
having
sure
a
that
rough
you
start.
make sure.
Apes
No.
is ahead right now.
No, on my
They're going
stream.
in an episode right now. They're rolling in.
If you just like pause and unpause, it'll update in case you're dropping frames. They're
Oh,
both
maybe.
about to pull Neff at the exact same.
You pause and unpause, I'll try. Yeah, I'm dropping frames.
Alright, gotta try that.
Pause and unpause.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you can see that they're actually.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh,
quite
they're
literally
passing out
within.
some sands now. Okay.
They have to.
Whew.
I mean, but they need to be doing that like during the pull.
Oh, this is an absolute nail biter. This is like virtually
Wow.
identical.
Progress, Apes, Calamity. As you guys can
Holy
see, these
cow.
ads are just getting torn
That started
apart.
for Moo.
Yep, Neff started for Calamity and Progress. I mean, this is it. Literally might come down to the stream delay.
Yep.
It's gonna be.
If Apes gets a Paladin call, that might screw him over. Literally.
Yeah. If anybody, the class calls here on Nefarian are now up in the air.
Yeah, and Progress too. Like if they get a bad class call, that could be the end of it for him. This is super close.
Super close, man. Super close.
We're all holding our breath. We just don't even know what to say. It's
Is it on
just,
their streams as well? You watching it? Or is it fine for you?
Do we have a count on how many? I don't know if there's any add-ons.
it doesn't. I don't see any
Great
DBM
count.
counters on any of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're all within probably a couple of dragons.
Once we get to phase 2, we'll have a better sense of where they're at. Right now, it's just killing dragons, so it's hard to know.
And we won't have official timers until the logs are posted as well.
Yep. Mytos is actual time.
There's not
a big delay. That's what he's saying. Okay, we gotta go to Mytos, bro. We gotta go to Mytos. Apparently Monkey News has a big delay, like 5 minutes or a minute or something.
Oh, really? So they think they're gonna...
So they already be preparing to get nerfed.
Maybe they already beat it?
No, I'm sure they haven't yet, and we would have saw.
No,
yeah,
no, that's not a big delay. No, my
not
is about the same.
Not very large.
Yeah, it seems the same to me.
The question is the gain in speed, the catch-up from Apes, is that going to be attributed to the PvP weapons?
Apes are preparing for the Nefarian land on my
sure stream. Those PvP weapons are insane.
I mean, that's like God tier right there.
Oh yeah, it is. It's ready to pick. Okay.
Just compare Calamity and Apes, bro.
So
there is Nefarian on my
phase 2. Okay, and about the same thing for Calamity.
Very
Dude,
clean
he just landed for Calamity. It is neck and neck, but I'm thinking
this is absurd.
I'm thinking it's going to come down to boss damage or calls. Like
yeah, they literally need to push. They need to ignore the ads in phase 3 and get good class calls. Wait,
push.
What's going on?
But yeah, progress is actually slower here.
Apes' Nefarian flew around a bunch extra. They just are now touching the boss.
Okay.
He was literally like flying around extra.
Alright, well, let's just watch the percents here. But actually, so Calamity might have an advantage here. If they get the Paladin buff, that can be a major problem.
People are saying Calamity is ahead now.
Here.
I mean, they're ahead. I see. Here, I'll watch Progress's stream.
Is what I've got.
I'm gonna call out Progress's stream percent, so just it's updated up to time.
Okay, I'll watch Calamity. 66 for Calamity, 65.
We're looking at 70 for Progress right now.
What's
I
Apes
also look
looking
over
at?
and see Apes. I really don't think it's going to be possible to tell. It is too close. We will have to wait and see.
Calamity might have it here. We might have, we might just have to see what the actual timer
Stream
is.
delay
If there's any delays or the logs.
Calamity 50%, they're ahead right now, dude.
50%, yeah.
Oh man, do we go look at Calamity?
They're within like single-digit percentages.
Oh my god.
Holy cow.
A Paladin call could change this.
It's all up to the class call. They got a mage call.
Totally
Progress got a mage call, but they only have 5 mages. But we'll see how they deal with this.
Oh, Druid call for Calamity. That was a great one for them. Jeez.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can get.
23%?
20% I'm seeing.
Progress is streamed. They're in execute 14, 13, 12 on live feed.
12,
oh my god.
12,
he just hit a
9,
Calamity's
8,
at 9,
7,
8,
6,
7, 6, 5.
Progress
Oh
is...
my god, this
2,
is so close! There is
0.
no way to call this!
Progress is dead on
my
live. It's
Calamity
impossible to tell.
Calamity dead, Progress dead. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that is crazy!
Warcraft
We cannot
logs.
even tell.
Warcraft live logs are updating as we speak.
Oh my god.
If Apes is running a delay, they got it. If they're on a delay, they got it.
So close.
It
That
is.
is
It'll
incredible.
be. We'll just have to wait for the logs and see. I mean, we're talking about within
Progress
single-digit seconds.
Seconds.
They just dropped it on Progress.
Progress?
So
Unbelievable.
We're waiting. We have to wait for live logs.
It looks like tentatively Calamity or Apes is where it's at.
Wow.
Oh my god, man. Was that way closer than MC or what, bro? That is insane.
Apes chat is spamming number 2. They're spamming second, or third. I don't know. I think people are just memeing. They don't even know.
Nobody's. I don't think anybody can say until we get an actual.
No.
It'll be impossible to
This is way
tell.
too close. Like
That
the
is
stream
insane.
Way too close to tell.
2,000 people on YouTube and 1,300 on Twitch. Here at the freaking Blackwing Lair Race the World First, guys. It's too close to call right now.
Dude.
Oh my god.
I just saw a comment in one of the chats that said, "Limit still found a way to log."
People are messaging me saying Progress won. Some people are saying Apes won though.
Well, I don't. Well, I mean, let's give Apes credit. Like they started with a huge deficit and they still brought it back. So like in terms
minutes,
of
was it?
Yeah, someone was saying 7-minute head start.
Of it, I'm giving them full props for that one. That was impressive.
What's the best Progress stream to watch?
It seems like Tetsuhihi.
Tetsuhi. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, right now we just have to wait and see for live logs. There was a lot of
no
guilds.
way to know.
Anybody claiming it?
Nobody has claimed it yet. It doesn't seem. People are
Come
saying
on, we're
he won
not the
by
Iowa
seconds.
primaries here. We can't be just guessing.
Yeah, this is. We're just gonna have to wait for logs.
Can we get the logs up?
Yeah, we can get the logs.
Yeah, here, go to Warcraft logs, Blackwing Lair progress, and anyone who is live logging will.
Let's see what we got, boys.
So right now,
progress is
Apes,
listed, but it's
yeah.
only listed as 7 of 8. So
Yo, link
they
the
just
live logs.
Here, I'll link it in.
Woo, boys.
There's the Discord link.
boy,
So it will update every couple of minutes.
yeah.
But obviously, Apes did not live log Calamity. They got a Therazan's link first. But yeah, progress. You see a lot of it, dude. 2 Herald guilds.
Grizzly got the
that's
first kill, the first Razor Gore kill, which was what we did see. Is they got in there real quick, but they had that bug obviously that really screwed
And
them
then from
over.
there on out, it's all
Onslaught
been
got
progress on the
screwed over.
leaderboards. But
Yeah, so it's hard to
gonna be-
say.
It's gonna be close, man. It's all gonna be what the logs show.
Yo, did somebody get Ashkandi?
hold on.
Again, there's all the factor of the delays. And,
The real question of the day: did anybody get
and footage.
Ashkandi?
So people are
They
telling me
got
right now
two.
that Apes had a rough start, right? People are saying that they started
Very rough.
7-8 minutes late, which is 7-8 minutes in speed.
That's
a world
huge.
first is half a world
Insane.
first or something, and
Yeah, they went quick. Oh, so well. All right. Hey, none of us paid
That is
attention to the
insane.
time. When was the final kill? How close were we?
all 3
Well,
kills were at
was it
6:40. There's no way, bro. Oh, I guess it must have been a couple seconds, yeah.
Was
On
it
the in-game
3:37?
clock, it was 40 to 41 on all their kills. So it was 40 minutes.
40 minutes? Okay. Wow.
And I mean, that's probably, that was a little bit on the higher end of some of our predictions because of the
Oh.
bugs and stuff we saw. And
Whoa! I'm seeing Calamity ahead of Progress here.
That's
in
what
the
I'm seeing
live
right now.
log?
I just refreshed.
I
What,
just
on the,
refreshed it. Calamity is ahead of Progress.
6:40. They're both at 6:42.
Yeah,
We're
they're
talking
both at the
within a
same
minute.
time.
Oh my
Within
god.
A minute. It's impossible
Wow.
to
We
say.
have to wait. We have to wait until
Oh, you
Apes
gotta
posts.
be kidding me.
Oh, Apes didn't post. That's right. Apes didn't post yet.
Apes is not posted
That's
yet.
true,
and we
that's
never
true.
know. There's
Yeah,
other
we need to
guilds
see.
that could have not updated their live logs yet. But as of right now, it looks like Calamity has claimed world first and Progress is.
Wow. Well, they came from nowhere. Impressive.
Calamity world first.
Kargoz,
One of
pull
the
up
better speed clearing guilds, but they definitely
There we go.
weren't. I wasn't expecting them to be.
Oh, that was.
Wow.
Who is
Yeah,
Grizzly?
Okay,
and-
okay. But let's
Reddit.
what are the
That's
factors
Reddit.
here? Like, think about it. If Apes they didn't upload yet, so we don't know. But if they had not had the trouble getting in, that would have been the difference right there. I
They
mean, you're
would have
talking.
been. They probably
like,
would have cleared 4 or 5 minutes ahead at least.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at some of these groups said that to zone out and zone back in because they had bugged out spawns.
Grizzly
and
as
stuff
well
like that.
got derailed.
Yeah, so you've got a lot of factors, and some of those aren't even player control. I mean, that's like having it bug out. There's nothing you can do about that. Like that's just you're just screwed.
Everyone is just spamming upload logs in the Apes chat.
Wow.
You think there's
That
any?
is-
You think
that
there's
is-
any shot that Apes actually got it though, guys? I don't know. I feel
I
like
mean, they were right there. Wow, Apes
Dude,
got a
it-
shot for the
it's so
shot.
close.
So Apes uploading logs is gonna determine this.
We just gotta wait.
Yeah. So Calamity was top 5 for speed on the. At least I'm seeing for Phase 1 and Phase 2 for Molten Core. So yeah.
Wow, those numbers are so close, so close.
So close.
Yeah, we're talking within
That was
minutes. Within minutes.
That was a tighter. I thought it would have been an easier, not such a razor thin finish. That was incredible.
That was much more of a nail biter than
That is yeah.
a couple seconds made the difference there.
I expected
Yeah.
it to be a few minutes difference.
I really did too. I thought it would be pretty obvious.
Look at this
But that
last
was
progress on the right, guys. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little
tight.
bit zoomed out. 342. This means that Progress and Calamity killed it the same minute, right?
The same minute. Yep.
Risen 343. Storm 338. Shout out to your boys.
Well, they haven't cleared all of the.
That's only
Oh, yeah.
that's,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah,
the
yeah,
highlight
yeah.
It's
bosses.
6 of 8. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
It's Calamitys
Storm
not
could
showing
still-
updates for Boss
Yeah,
is doing-
Storm could still post really well. They were 4 minutes behind on the 5th boss, so they'll probably be.
And I
really
see
far
that
up there.
Onslaught is done too now, so
their
they
logs.
completed the race.
Some guilds use live logs, which automatically post as you go, and some use it at the end, which usually take a while to update.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be that long because you can usually post and then within a few minutes see them. It's just a matter of when they're going to do it. I mean, I can't imagine they'd be waiting because everybody wants to know. Wow, it's now Calamity. This guild. This is one we didn't really talk about a lot. Does anybody? Are they from the private server community, or is this a reform of a different guild, or is this just someone that came out of the woodwork when Classic dropped? Do we know? I'm not familiar with them.
I'm not really
I can't
sure.
say.
I mean,
I know that they. I know that they played. Hold on one moment.
So we're pretty much just waiting on Apes to upload logs, guys. For those of you asking right now, we have the times in from Calamity and Progress, 3:42 p.m. for both of them. That's my time here in California. It'll be adjusted for you. But is there a chance that Apes uploads their logs faster than this? We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
I think that just depends on how much delay he has on his stream. I really think that's what it is. Like, that could be a factor of 2 minutes, and that'd be the difference.
Yeah, that's insane, man.
I mean,
well played to all three
amazing.
guilds, right? Well played. I mean, Calamity, Apes, Progress. Those are the three that did it. I mean, everyone else is...
Yeah, top 3 right there. Yeah, everybody else is
Few minutes
4th, 5th, 6th. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I see that Rise finished and Onslaught finished, so they're both top 5 probably. Not sure how they came in, but awful tight.
That is crazy, dude. Should we go into one of the like Calamity's logs or something and take a look? I mean, they're listed as number 1. Let's just... What kind of takeaways can we get from this? Let's see how... Do we have access to everything yet? Let's see.
I couldn't even tell what breaths they got on Chromag. Like, I mean...
Yeah,
I didn't see anyone maneuvering in such a way that would say that they got bronze.
No, I don't believe they got time lapse.
There was a lot to watch. And
oh,
CN
wow.
Title showing 3 the China Guild.
Logs, yeah. Logs just updated. CN United, the Chinese guild that I mentioned, they just posted the current number 3, but it is 3 minutes behind the current number 1.
But
so
yeah, so we don't
might
have
be
Apes yet, but they are... Oh yeah, so 3 minutes behind those. So Apes is still probably top 3, given that we saw when they finished.
I think so.
So it'd be interesting.
Apes, I'm looking...
What's chat thinking about this, guys? What do you guys think?
Man,
seems like most people are thinking that Apes would have won if they had a better start.
Yeah,
but at the same time, all the guilds
rough.
probably had some sort of scuffage going on at the same time. You know, like, do you think anyone had a super clean opening? I feel like stuff always goes wrong forever.
That's gonna be the
Calamity didn't look like they had trouble. They got in and they were and get the zone out with the respawn or the spawning issue. They didn't get I don't think they got wiped on the way in.
Progress and Apes had a late start, but still.
Yeah, I mean, but that's part of the race. Like, we knew that was going to be an issue, and that's a big tactic that was something everybody had to deal with.
I mean,
the way that Apes loaded their logs, they're not gonna update within the day likely. But according to what people are saying, there does not seem. I mean, I'm looking here in their logs. I'm looking for exact seconds.
It's a real shame that there was that bug on Razorgore to start it all off, because that really threw off. It was Apes that got hit with that, right? Or no, it was Grizzly.
No, it was Grizzly. The first one.
Grizzly
killed
and Onslaught, and they both got screwed bad from that.
Okay, so number 3, CN United.
Yeah, the Chinese guild.
So actually, look at that. CN United actually got the first Razorgore kill, so they were fastest with Razorgore. That's interesting.
Interesting.
So we thought Grizzly zoomed in there real quick, but they got it a whole 2 minutes earlier than Grizzly.
CN United world first on almost every boss. Yeah, shout out to them, man. This is how it's mathing out.
Yeah,
what's the first NA guild to do it? NA guild
so past Fire Moth, so... Well, top NA guild was
Risen?
so...
US, right? Risen US.
Is Risen... No, they're not done.
They're not done yet.
No, Onslaught is going to be top top NA, because they finished. They were top 5 probably.
Onslaught number 1 NA. That's still a great accomplishment.
Ale thought they were top 4, but that was before CN United came up here, so I'm thinking they're probably top 5. Because they finished multiple minutes ago.
Mercmaster, are you from Onslaught? I think he's from Onslaught. He's saying we are top NA. Have to see.
Nice.
Grizzly 4 of 8 at the moment. But yeah, they're probably just isn't updated.
Grizzly's only at 4 of 8 right now.
It might not be updated though. Calamity in
Some
progress.
delay in
Man.
it.
Crazy.
Yeah. And Apes.
Apes. I still want to see. I'm curious because we made the calls, and I actually, again, I suggested them first, but we had that discussionary on the factors that can hold them up. But
looks like
I honestly was.
Twitch just went down.
Well, I think we were saying it was either Apes or Progress. What we were sort of arguing. So we're sort of, we got to see.
Yeah, I mean,
where
I was very
comes
impressed with the boss damage that Progress showed. I mean, that was a big factor when they were on the Drakes, I think, and helping get them caught up because they were able to drop them so quick. They pulled right up on the heels of Calamity there.
It was Calamity really that was sort of the sneaker for us, as we didn't really think about them as being on top. So, but the other two were definitely in contention.
Yeah, that's just amazing. I mean, it didn't seem like anyone was held up really with any of the trash. I mean, none of that even seemed to phase.
So
I know.
I'm kind of looking through the logs a little bit more in depth now. It's going to be impossible to tell exactly who, but there's no doubt Apes was top 3, unless somebody else comes out of the woodwork with another.
I mean, they were neck and neck with the other two, so
another
I can't
log.
imagine they'd be top 3.
So apparently Onslaught had a terrible glitch that caused them to have to zone out twice while we figured it out. Damn.
Yeah. Onslaught and Grizzly both had to zone out multiple times because of this stupid
Wait, hold up. If Apes started their run 7-8 minutes late, wouldn't that affect the logs? Wouldn't their logs start
well,
so
that
means they're gonna have the highest speed but not progress?
Yeah, they'll likely have the best speed. Their speed clear was 33 minutes and change.
Let's go back and look, man.
You can look at encounters and trash fights. Their overall, 33.5 minutes is their start to finish.
Yeah, and that's also a thing too for Onslaught to catch up like that is a jump as well.
Storm, Herod, let's go. People are saying
Onslaught did a really good job considering their bugs, so they were really pushing hard too.
Yeah, Storm Herod pulled at. Yeah, it looks like Storm Herod actually might be one of the top NA guilds as well here.
Look at that. So progress right now is showing Calamity. Progress, Calamity, speed, and execution is progress.
Stormer's everything uploaded but Neff.
Yeah, their Neff log is there. It just hasn't updated. But they killed Neff, pulled it 5:49, killed within 2.5 minutes.
Wow, it's amazing. I mean, if everybody, so many people having such in-depth knowledge and application and preparation and organizing that goes into setting these things up. I mean, it's just amazing that they've got all these people out here that can do these things. And
I mean, they time and plan every single one of their cooldowns and what they're doing the entire way. It's just insane amounts of control.
Yeah, and that's another thing too that I know when I'm playing sometimes I struggle with is something is better even if it doesn't look better. You're like, that doesn't look like that's going to be better, but it is because someone's crunched and run the numbers and stuff. And maintaining that discipline to do those things can sometimes be tough as a player. But if you're playing at this level of the game and you're pushing at this level of the game, I mean, every single person's got to be doing that.
That race made me want to make a warrior. Get used to that, bro. What website we're on? We are on Classic Warcraft logs. Classic.warcraft.logs. The site's Warcraft logs, though.
There we go. Risen. It looks like Risen just claimed US.
I don't think they're going to get US.
No, their log. Well, I mean, it was 55.
Onslaught's not up yet. They're a whole 10 minutes after the other guys. I don't think so. I think Onslaught was faster than that.
Yeah.
I gotta see if I can just look at Onslaught's log manually.
Okay, so some updates here on the Warcraft logs. Salad Baker's coming in at number 4.
But did they update again? Are they? Yeah, there's, I mean, thousands and thousands of logs trying to get pushed at the same time.
It appears 5 guilds, right? 5 guilds have cleared it out entirely right now, but some just haven't been uploaded yet.
Yeah, that are uploaded.
Yeah, there's multiple ones that haven't uploaded yet, so...
Yeah, there's definitely...
You can go in and look manually.
What kind of insights can we take away from some of the logs? Is it worth investigating here? Clicking on one?
Oh yeah, Onslaught absolutely. They're, at the very latest, they're going to be posting like a 40, 46, or 47.
Okay, so that definitely puts them at least at 4th, if not 3rd, possibly.
No, it seems like 4th or 5th right now for them.
Yeah, I think 4th.
A lot of the logs are coming in. Yeah, Salad Bakers just got updated. 53 for them.
So they might be 5th then. So Onslaught then Salad Bakers, unless there's some other ones. Oh well, we still have Apes in here that hasn't shown up yet. So actually,
that's the other contender. I mean, they're going to be Apes is going to be top 3, like we said.
Yeah, Onslaught's probably going to be top 5, and then Salad Bakers will be 6, unless there's some other ones we don't know about.
That is
I
phenomenal.
wonder how many seconds between Calamity and Progress, though. It's so crazy.
I wonder if there's a way to tell. Like,
it's going to be. There are no seconds on the logs, so it's going to be impossible to tell where Apes is until it updates.
So here's speed right now. Here's the difference in them. Progress 3856. It's saying number 1. Calamity 4023. CN United 4534. So what did you guys predict in the chat? Actually, so you guys were saying 35 minutes. 35, 37. You said. That's pretty good. You guys really were not far off, man, on your predictions. You guys.
Well, Apes log says 940, but you have to take into account the kill time as well. That is the time listed on the log is the pull time.
I think Apes is second by 5 seconds to far and reset once for them. You said 40. That's pretty close.
That is amazing, though. I mean, I'm like sitting here wanting Apes to get up here, but it's a matter of when we're gonna see them.
Really close. Yeah, it could be a while.
Yeah, in terms of full logs posted speed, it does look like Apes will have definitely the fastest run out of the bunch.
I got
which is the most? You think that's the most impressive thing? I mean,
possibly the fact that they were so late.
To a certain extent, especially given the fact that they ended at virtually exactly the same time, that sort of does give them a bit of an extra gold star, in my opinion.
Because people are going to go to Apes' defense and say they started 7-8 minutes later, so they're going to say that Apes basically won. But I don't know. At the same time, shout out to Progress.
First is first, but at the same time, like, it was based so much on servers.
Wait, check this out. There's it's showing the very normal kill Apes 6:40 p.m.
Well, that's, again, I'm almost positive that is the poll time.
Oh, I can't put the link on there.
Oh, the poll time. Oh.
The poll time is the one listed. Yeah, so, okay, for example, if you go into the CN United, they have number 1, they have the first Razor Gore at 5:06, but in their log, the poll is listed at 5 p.m. So, yeah, that is the poll time, so it will be impossible to tell, because it does not list seconds.
Okay.
Man, what a situation.
What a nail biter, man. What a nail biter.
Okay. So if they pulled at 6:40 and they killed it, what is the kill time? Is that a minute 50? Is that the kill time? Yeah. No?
Well, it could, but then you have to take into account the seconds into 5:40 that it already was.
Dylan's asking, so Calamity got world first Nef? No, the way it looks like Progress got world first Nef. That's what it's looking like at this point, up until the Apes logs process.
How would you say that? How would they get world first Nef? That means world first BWL. Calamity got world first BWL.
Calamity does on the logs. Calamity is a few seconds ahead.
Sorry, my bad. I got switched up. But what I'm saying, what I was trying to get to is that people are saying Apes basically won because they started delayed.
That's not how that works. I mean, It's
They had the fastest
world first
clear,
means
but they
world
didn't get
first.
world first, maybe.
Yeah, they do have fastest clear.
Yeah.
And first fastest clear. Okay, sure, but it's regardless. Even with the bad luck, that's just how that goes. Okay, I refreshed. Salad Bakers is right now listed as 4th with a finish time of 3:53, at least for my time zone. So they are 11 minutes later than the leaders. So it does look like, I would bet you that Onslaught's probably going to be coming in earlier than them. So Salad Bakers
is saying in Warcraft logs they lost to Apes by 5.5 seconds. What?
So Apes might be 2nd then?
We'll have to see.
Yeah, this is going to be a real tight one. But it looks like to me that it's going to be Calamity, Apes, or Progress. Then, Calamity, Apes, Progress, all 3 of those, the top 3. Then it's going to be CN United, probably. Then Onslaught. Then Salad Bakers. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Either way, shout out to Apes, right? People were saying that they're good at leveling, and that's why they got world first on MC. This is
very impressive.
This is Apes going, fuck that. We're actually just good at the game. In addition to being good levelers,
very
we're
impressive.
I'm gonna guess that they killed. They're saying Apes killed at 641.5. They
so they're saying that Apes was actually, if so, then Apes is first.
If that's right.
If that's
they
right,
got it. That is god tier.
No way.
But I'm just saying. Well, one of your mods is saying that in chat. And I don't know where they're getting it from.
Yeah. Okay. 8 logs are in the queue now. What does that mean? Is processing through?
Just keep refreshing and see.
Alrighty, I do have to head out here.
Okay.
I gotta prepare for. We are doing Blackwing Lair tonight, so.
All right, guys, we can wrap it up here. We had a really good stream. Thanks for hanging out with us today, guys. As it stands, what's the final verdict? Could you TLDR it for everybody watching in the stream right now of who won and what the takeaways are?
TLDR, we don't even know.
Yeah, we don't know yet. Like, it's just amazing. I mean, the whole thing is impressive to see and watch, and if you understand everything that's fundamentally going on during the fights, it's just crazy. But I think it's something we have to wait and see the final log there. I think
what we do know, as far as we can see, is Calamity, Apes, and Progress are top 3 in some way or another, for sure. So, among those, it's either Calamity or Apes that were top 1. So we're gonna have to see where Apes shows up in the numbers. We literally don't know. Yeah.
If what chat's saying about the kill for Apes and the time, then Apes could be 641 kill. Or 642.
It's seconds apart. It's impossible to say.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost a 3-way tie, but then again, if you argue, like, if you're looking at it and saying, like, they had to come from behind, but those are all factors. Those are factors of who's going to get the world first.
Yep.
So.
And Apes probably won the fastest kill of the day.
Oh, I would think so.
From Kieran, the guy who made Warcraft logs. Someone linked something interesting. Let me see. Rankings. Let's see what this says.
Just kill me that they're not showing up yet.
No, that's.
Sometimes it just takes a while. It sucks.
It just hasn't updated yet. Don't worry about it.
Alright, well, we're going to wrap up the stream, guys. Lester has to take off. It was a fun time. I'm going to start getting ready for raid as well. I'm going to be raiding in about 52 minutes here. So...
Absolutely,
Thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to put in the channels of everybody here. Docking.
Thanks for having us, man. This is amazing, dude. I had so much fun. I'm glad I was able to be here.
Where can everybody find you at, Dockin? I'll put it in there.
They can find me on Twitch, Dockin_TV, and you can find me at Dockin_TV on YouTube as well. I do some videos there, but primarily I'm streaming 4 or 5 times a week on Twitch. So yeah, come check it out. Main tank perspective and guild leader at that.
Absolutely. Yo, and Lestor, you're streaming too, right? You stream like very occasionally, don't you?
I've been playing my alt, and I get a few people watching. But if you guys go, it's Lestor, same spelling.
Double S.
You can always join. Yeah, LESSTORR. Don't forget to hop in the public Paladin Discord. I'm the admin of that. It's a great place to find me if you ever have questions.
All right, there it is. And Talagil, you want to put the Druid Discord in here, perhaps?
Oh no, people can find that super easy.
Okay.
Oh, I will probably be streaming Blackwing Lair tonight, though, if you want to watch Raid Leader Holy Paladin perspective.
I'll be doing our Blackwing Lair tomorrow evening. It won't be as impressive as what we watched today, but it'll be fun.
Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and host my man, High Warlord Steno, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us today. I really appreciate it. It was really a lot of fun. I thought it was more exciting of a race than I would have anticipated. We were talking seconds, not minutes, right? So it's still kind of going on because we don't have the final say from where
it is
ended out.
You
so
cannot tell yet.
It is possible that Apes actually got progress. I mean, is the #1 in progress as well. It is possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Guys, take care. See you in the next stream. Have a good one.